there's not a lot of information about you on the internet,
Yeah.
and that's kind of by choice, which
Yeah,
is
it's kind of
cool,
by choice.
which is
Yeah.
cool. But it makes my job harder
Oh, I
because I
bet.
can't do any research. Um, so I'm honestly, I'm stoked to be sitting down with you here. And, I just feel like it's an honor just cause it seems like, yeah, you've kind of like adopted this personality of just like climbing for yourself and not really seeking any sort of media attention, and might even to the point where you've kind of like turned some opportunities down where people are like, hey, come talk. You're like, I don't really know. Um, and so you've kind of become this like quiet legend, like people have heard and seen your name through these achievements that you've done. And yeah, you've built like this name for yourself, even though it's not this public nature. And you've kind of been silent up to this point. So I guess like my opening question is like, why now? Like, what about now is kind of felt right for you to kind of share your story?
Honestly, like this whole entire scene is not my scene. Talking here, sitting down in front of cameras, never done it before. But I'm a huge consumer of like climbing media and I love it so much. And one thing that's made me stoked in my like climbing and adventure everything is podcasts, and specifically your podcast. I've been listening to it for 3 years now. I think that's like almost when it's like, I think I started at like episode like 5 or 7 when I started listening, and it just like gets me up climbs. It gets me stoked to go on adventures. And I honestly was like, if I could help some kid or some dude want to get up there and go adventure, I should try to do it.
That's cool. So you're trying
Yeah.
to bring the same stoke to somebody else that the people who have been on the show has given to you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, you've been following the show for quite a long time, and you've seen kind of an evolution, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. From you guys just interviewing each other about your accidents
Yeah.
to like more and more people. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Do you have any like standout episodes up to this point where you're just like, man, that one was so cool?
Ooh, I don't know. I liked a lot of them. And a lot of the names, just the names I recognize that I don't know as much, but I know like some of their climbing routes and some of their achievements. Yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome, man. Did you listen to Alan Burgess at all? That's like the British 70-year-old.
Yep,
Yeah. He like two episodes that were like 3 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long one. I remember that one.
Wild
Yeah.
stories though.
So cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been cool, man. I really love the aspect of just interviewing people that haven't told their story before. And it's so cool about climbing is because you don't have to be a pro. You don't have to like be in the media attention to have these life-changing experiences. And like that's been the whole vision of this show, is just like finding people like exactly like yourself. I think you're almost like I would say like the epitome of like what this show is like built around. Is the majority is people who are silently out there living the life of climbing and experiencing all these things that fulfill us in climbing, but just aren't on the internet. We don't get to see what you're doing. So yeah, I'm honored to be here, man. I'm super stoked you're here. And yeah, I can't wait to dive in and tell your story. And like you said, hopefully inspire some people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hell yeah, man. I guess, we'll open this kind of background section with just like, how old are you now?
22.
22. And
Yeah.
what age did you start really climbing?
Oof, I would have to say like 12 or 13.
Okay. So you've been climbing for 10, 12 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of us, at least the people in my circle, are always like, I found climbing when I was 30. I found climbing when I was 22. Do you find like that as a common thread around the climbers that you find as well? Or do you find that most of the people you're surrounded by also found climbing kind of around the same time as you?
I feel like everyone finds it in college for some reason. Like that's when everyone, because there's like so many friend groups and you always know a climber and they always like want to bring someone out. But yeah, I very rarely meet anyone who I feel like started as young as me and who's still going as hard as I am.
Unless there's some like crusher comp climber.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Unless they've like sent 14, they're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. And so I think some people might find like a level of burnout at some point.
Yeah.
Through your progression, did you ever experience any sort of like lack of motivation, or has it just been building ever since you started?
No, I don't think I've ever had any lack of motivation. But also I feel like I can switch through different climbing mediums. That if I like maybe don't want to be hard sport climbing, I can just go into chill 5-9 trad days. But I can never see myself losing excitement over just like an adventurous 5'9". Like forever and always, I would love to do that.
But I guess it didn't always, at least from what we've talked about, it didn't always start that way. It seemed like if we're going to talk about these pillars, like, you know, in our meet and greet, I had mentioned, I've been kind of workshopping this idea. So it's like performance, spirituality, adventure. Those are the three. And then you suggested kind of like insightfully.
Yeah, like relationships. Yeah.
And I really like that. So we'll talk about relationships later, but it seems like in the beginning, at least, you know, performance was the main pillar. Was that correct?
Yes. I mean, I only competed just in like local high school competitions and state competitions, never like anything big or anything glorious. But I definitely, as a kid, you see grades and you always want to go for a harder and harder grade. But it wasn't necessarily like a driving factor. Even if I was like going through the comp scene, I still would go out to Garden of the Gods and climb 5.7s with my mom. Like that was just always the pinnacle of what I thought what climbing was.
Okay, interesting. So adventure was always there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess maybe performance got more of your attention in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that's definitely in the beginning, that's what you focus on. It's like, well, let me get better. Let me find what kind of grade I can climb. And then you eventually plateau at a certain point, and then it's like, okay, do I punch through the ceiling or do I diversify?
Yeah. Especially when I was a kid, you have so many opportunities to go into the gym. Like you have all your friends are driving to the gym. Everyone can always just bring you to the gym. But I feel like you have less opportunities to go outside. And so you focus more on the numbers and the grades inside.
Adventure is harder to come by. You can just walk into a gym and pull on plastic and try hard.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Interesting. So you said you got into the comp scene a little bit?
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, just through high school. I was just climbing for like my high school actually had a team. And so I just competed with them.
That's probably one of the benefits of being in Colorado is like it's integrated into education. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so like talk to me about your climbing progression, I guess, through the grades. Like how fast did, you know, like we just kind of talked about a plateau, right? Like for me, I'd say my plateau was like 5.11. Like I got there pretty quick. And then I stayed there for a really long time. And it's only been until recently, after lots of effort and change of focus, change of lifestyle, change of diet, like where I've been able to kind of push that a little bit. What was like your progression towards a plateau?
I was super slow progression, especially as like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. I did most of my climbing like when I was outside, I wasn't really pushing the limits. I did hundreds of pitches without ever taking a fall, especially because like Garden of the Gods climbing, you're not really supposed to fall there, especially when you're placing gear at that young of an age.
So you started to try climbing early on?
Yeah. Maybe 2-3 years after I started climbing.
And we'll jump back to this.
Okay.
Continue
and so I just slowly worked my way up. It wasn't until maybe sophomore year of high school I started sending 12s and 13s, but I jumped through the 12s and 13s pretty quickly. I like probably took me 7 years to get to my first 12, and then maybe 3 months to get to my first 13B. So yeah, it just like really jumped up fast. Just due to like good mentors and definitely a shift in focus from like the adventure side of things to more just like the projecting side of things, which was really fun to have a mentor show me how to like actually project and like be okay with, I made a quarter of a move further today and I am happy with that. But then I plateaued after I just was like, okay, I might not sit here and project forever, but I still love climbing. So I'm going to kind of like drop it down a few grades and just climb.
So you almost kind of like adventure first as a kid. And then like you were introduced to people and were like, this is what performance is like. And then you had this like bubble burst of performance. And then you're just like, okay, well, let's taper off. And it's been this like wave of kind of changing focuses.
Definitely. Yeah. I remember when I was a senior in high school, I climbed my first 12D. And then like 3 weeks after that, I was like on-sighting them 3 in a day at Maple. Like just pretty quickly was able to do that.
That's cool. And so jumping back to that mention of trad kind of early on, I would say like trad requires mentorship. It requires instruction.
Definitely.
Who was that for you when you were so young?
So I did most of my climbing with my mother actually from a young age, because she was the only person I found that would actually go out to the crags with me commonly and not complain when I brought her to a freezing cold crag in the middle of winter in Colorado and belay me all day. But she actually would pay for a guide. Like my birthday, every birthday I had for a while, I would have like, here's how to like outdoor climb, and then here's how to trad climb, and then here's how to multi-pitch climb. And so, like every year I'd have one guide, but it was only one day, which isn't really enough of a mentorship. But I took it to heart from a young age that I was like, I was going to learn properly. And so after learning that, I would just re-lead these like 5.6s and 5.7s over and over and over again, just dialing it down and getting gear pretty decently well.
Mm-hmm. So you've been pretty risk off from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Was that self-imposed or was that taught to you?
Definitely self-imposed. Yeah, definitely self-imposed. But going along with that, after I really did feel like I dialed it down, I quickly got into easy but R-rated pitches. Especially climbing like a lot in the garden, you quickly get into R-rated pitches fast. And so I learned like the balance between like being safe, but also climbing harder and more dangerous pitches.
And that's all stems from confidence and connection to your movement. And it seems like you were building such a huge pyramid where it's like, okay, like I have climbed either this same route a bunch of times, or I've climbed routes so similar where it's like, I have pretty confidence in my movement here where I don't need a piece like, 5 feet below me or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's been a big thing for me that I've been trying to promote a lot, is just like building that connection with your movement. I feel like to me, it's like why I climb, right? It's like, I want to be so solid and be so connected to what my movement is and whether I'm going to come off the wall. Like, I don't want to be surprised. Yeah. And like that part of that is the risk management for me. Is like, I'm able to choose to take on more risk based on my comfortability on the rock. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, at least for me in the beginning, I don't know, that wasn't really taught to me very much. It was just like, I very much fell into the trap of like, just sand and like, place gear and you got to whip, like
you got to run that out.
Yeah, run it out. You're sick, bro. I pull off the crux move barely somehow. And you're just like, that was sick,
Running it out's the cool thing to do.
Exactly. Like, how did you not get kind of like wrapped up into that? Like, was there any sort of outside pressure from media or from social groups or anything?
None at all.
None.
Yeah, I don't think there is any at all. The only pressure I had is my mom yelling down at me like, you haven't put in a piece of gear yet. Like, and I'm like, oh, well, there's no gear left. Like, got a few more meters until I can find a piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I had no pressures outside of any social groups or anything.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I wonder, you said that your safety or risk management was self-imposed in the beginning.
Yeah.
I wonder if my risk taking was self-imposed as well.
Okay, yeah. I have seen that though from a lot of I have a lot of friends who just think like they work up through the brackets and they're like, I'm gonna start free soloing, or I'm gonna start like doing these really like skipping clips and doing big falls. And they kind of like act like they have to almost. And so I wonder if that's like the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely think you can attach your ego towards like taking on risk.
Yeah.
It's like, because there's like this weird attachment to like mastery, like, because you see the masters like take on more risk, but it's because they can, not because they do.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the fallacy, at least for me. It's like, just because I'm doing it and getting away with it doesn't mean it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So your performance chasing, or at least your progression in performance, you said you got in, you started climbing trad, you got into the 12s, you instantly got through the 13s. Did that also translate to outdoor climbing pretty quickly, or were you kind of like performance focused in the gym?
Oh, that was all outdoor climbing.
All outdoor?
Yeah, that was 12s and 13s was all outdoor. I mean, I was climbing a ton inside, like 6 days a week inside. But no, everything inside was just practice for me. Yeah, I was definitely just training inside for the outdoor days.
So what like accomplishments during that period of, performance chasing did you achieve kind of in your earlier years? Like, do you have any particular routes you were super proud of? Any projects that you had taken a lot of time to kind of work on?
I'm sure I do, but honestly, I was more focused on the next one to really sit back and look at it. Because when I was doing a lot of it in Clear Creek Canyon in Colorado, and when I would send that 513A or something, the 513B was sitting right next to it. And it didn't matter how much time I spent on that A or B or whatever, the C was sitting right next to that. And so I feel like I just always was like, all right, here's the next step. Or it doesn't even have to be a number grade harder. It could be the 12D over here that I've whipped off of for the last 2 weeks. Like there always is one more step. So I don't feel like I could enjoy something so much. I was just like, nice, I sent it. Next one. Like I'll start working at the next one.
Were you ever repeating routes, or was it always chasing the next one that you hadn't done?
Probably just chasing the next one I haven't done.
And then are you like, would you, if you were to categorize yourself as like a projector or an on-siter, which one would you lean more towards?
Right now I'm definitely like an on-siter.
But back then it was
back there as projector.
Projector. Yeah. Well, so that's like a concept to me that's very unfamiliar. I don't project. I'm like pretty much an on-siter. Talk to me about like your experience in the projecting world. Like, what do you like about it? Like, what's that process like in your head? Like, I guess break that kind of mentality down a little bit.
I love the feeling of having like 5 days on the route. I feel like that's or sending on your like 6th day. That's like the perfect project for me because you have 4 or 5 days of just getting that route perfectly memorized enough to like know every crystal, but not enough to just dull yourself out on the route. Like my mentor, when he was belaying me, he had a project that he was projecting for like 4 years and like actively on it on a daily basis or an every few day basis for the whole season. And that would just be way too much for me. I wouldn't be able to handle it. But like the 5-day project, you can see progression. And then when you finally do send, you get into just an amazing flow state that I feel like is harder to get to when you're on-siting. Because this flow state where you don't even need to look at the next hold because you know where it's going to feel. And you hit that hold and you're like, oh, let me adjust it right here because I know there's a certain crystal that will pinch in this certain way and feel better. And then the flow state for sending that is amazing. Yeah.
That's cool. So I feel like at a certain point when you're climbing, you have to project something to get better, right? But then after, like, I guess, I don't know, like for me, there's like the adventure of like figuring the puzzle out on the fly. But then once you've like understand all the moves, there's like it's lacking that kind of novelty. Do you experience that kind of lack of novelty at all? Or it's like you're trying to piece it all together into one consecutive push?
I would have to say at least like in my climbing right now, it doesn't lack the novelty because I've been projecting mostly trad routes and like harder for me trad routes. And I love piecing all the like intricate trad pieces together, how I'm going to protect it. If it's more dangerous, like what exact piece fits perfectly there and the different movements for that. And so I feel like there's so much to work through that I haven't really like lost interest or became that.
I guess a better way to frame this question is, do you think that you could progress through the grades never projecting, or do you feel like projecting is a essential part of pushing yourself?
I think it's an essential part of pushing yourself just to get stronger. Like you could, if you were like hiding in the gym, hangboarding all day, and then you'd come out, you could just easily like flash every grade harder and harder. But if you're not doing that, I feel like there's no way of getting stronger and like really working through the grades without falling. And
I guess at least the thing would be that your progression would just be really slow.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to try to onsite 11B, and then you don't get it. And then I guess the decision there is like, okay, you didn't climb it clean, and so you're going to get to the top, you sent it, but then like, are you going to come back for it?
Exactly.
Probably not. At least if it's a huge multi-pitch, you might not come back for it. But then, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I might be at the precipice of having to project something.
Yeah.
I think single pitch is probably easier to justify projecting than like a larger multi-pitch.
Yeah. Projecting multi-pitches can just get super involved and super hard.
How have you managed your time? It seems like even when you were younger, you were like 6 days a week climbing.
Yeah.
Like how early on did climbing steal your focus to that degree?
Pretty early. Yeah. Before high school, like middle school, it like stole my focus that early. I'm also a huge runner. And so I've been running 6-7 days a week for the entire time too. I have no clue. Honestly, I feel like I just prioritize it. And so it's going to happen no matter what. And all the pieces are going to fall into place no matter what. For better or for worse, I'm just going to end up climbing. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You just make priorities for things and it just makes it work.
It just happens.
What about like financial? So like supporting yourself through this time. Did you like get scholarships for college? Like,
I did get some scholarships for college, but just worked as much as I could. And just hard jobs, random jobs, just to be able to like fit like a puzzle piece into all of my different activities. It was definitely hard when I was running D1 cross country and trying to climb and trying to work and go to school. Like definitely school fell through the cracks pretty hard on that one when you're trying to sit in physics class and you're just like falling asleep because you got 1 hour of sleep between work and running and everything. But yeah, just trying my best, not doing it perfectly, just trying my best.
D1
Yeah.
in high school or college?
College. Yeah.
College. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some serious shit.
It was, yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't handle it for more than a year.
Wow. So freshman, that was it?
It was my sophomore year.
Sophomore year. What events did you run?
As long as they could give me. So I was just, did cross country, 8K, and then track. I was going to do the 10K, but I got a little injured and didn't really end up running much. But right now, my running is more just as long as you can give me, 24-hour, 48-hour running type ordeals. Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever get into like the ultramarathon thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm in right now. That's the kick I'm in right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're still doing like longer endurance races or just personal runs?
Mostly personal runs, but I try to do at least like 100-miler a year or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And then did you start climbing or running first?
Ooh. Probably started running first. My mom was a big runner and my dad was too. And you're kind of like called wimpy if you didn't go out on the Saturday morning run with the family.
That's good.
Definitely pressured into the Saturday morning runs.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a quote. You said you kind of got obsessed with the movement of climbing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have like a particular route or a particular moment where you remember that like clicking where you're just like, this movement is like obsessive. I love the flow.
Probably like the first one is this like pretty classic 13A in Clear Creek Canyon called Sonic Youth. Just a very pumpy, flowy route that I had to project for quite a long time. It was my second 13A, and so I had to really actually like dedicate to projecting and falling in love with the flow and the movement and being quite a bit above my last clip just because I was so cruxing out that I wouldn't clip any of the clips. And so super, super safe falls, but just like the flow of it and going for each move, and every single move was my max for the entire 20-meter route. Yeah.
Would you say that the movement in climbing progressively gets better the harder you can climb?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Is there like a bell curve?
Yeah.
Where's the sweet spot?
For me,
yeah,
like 12A.
12B.
Yeah.
Just flowy.
Trad, I think trad can, like all grades can have the best. Like the perfect splitter hand crack of the 510s is awesome. And then there's some 513s that I feel like also have amazing movements. But I feel like 12A is really like where you kind of like max out on the flow.
And then after that, what kind of starts to happen? It just gets awkward or just...
I'm just pulling too hard. I'm just like stretching. Like I don't feel like I have the flow. I feel like I'm just like all muscle, no anything else, just like pulling as hard as I can.
Do you feel like that's a lack of fitness?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're strong enough,
yeah,
maybe the movement gets better.
I'm sure some professional climber is going to be like, oh, the flow on a 14C is like amazing, but that's not me.
Have you felt like you've reached a plateau or reached like a homeostasis with your body?
Yeah. I feel like I have, just because I fully stopped prioritizing climbing hard and more just climbing adventure. And so when I am projecting, it's pretty rare and it's pretty quick. This last year, I would like fall in love with the route, project it for that week. I would be on it every single day that week and then send it and then wouldn't project again. And so I feel like I've also just fallen in love with too many easy routes. And so I have too many easy routes that I just climb all day and I don't end up actually pulling hard.
So volume is your key here.
Yeah. Yep.
I see that for sure. Yeah. So let's talk about kind of this shift. So, you've established yourself as this like 512, 513 climber. And adventure is starting to kind of creep back into your life. It seems like this also coincided with your transition to Zion. So I kind of want to talk about like some of your big objectives in Zion that you've done, and kind of use them to kind of extrapolate more of like who you are as a climber. So I have a couple here. We've got like the triple wall, the Towers of the Virgin, Kora, and obviously Time Wave Zero is not in Zion, but these are the four big ones. Can you help me with the chronology of these? Which one was first?
Oh, for sure. I believe Kora was first. That was a 512D. I think it's like 8-pitch route that we me and a friend, James Barrow, who was on this podcast. I don't remember what episode. But he was on this podcast talking about our Towers of the Virgin traverse we did, which was probably right after that. And then I went out to Mexico for a few weeks and did Sendero and Time Wave Zero. And then after that, just it would have been last season, I did the triple solo walls in a day.
Cool. So let's start with Kora. Like it was a first ascent, with James. Talk to me about that process. How did you choose it? How did you find it? What did it mean to you? And kind of break me down the climb.
Yeah, for sure. So that was my actually first big wall, first ascent that I've ever tried. James knew of a route that him and a buddy of ours, Landon McDowell, who's also been on this podcast.
That's the Zion St. George crew.
Yeah, for sure. They found a route. Landon went up there and he said, this thing is so bad. They were pulling off blocks, just like whacking each other on it. And so Landon said, probably not for me. And James got hooked on it because he's hooked on anything choss. And so he knew that he could convince me to get out there and start pulling on it. We made it a few pitches up and we found this like incredible 10-meter roof that just went straight out of the wall, ended up going at around 12D, and then just brought it all the way to the top of a tower. And it was just an amazing first experience for us. We did it all winter and we met up every single weekend that whole winter and just climbed on that thing.
How long did it take to like clean it up?
I think we put 6 or 7 days of effort, like full days, sunrise to sunset of effort, and hike out in the dark, just to clean it and make it possible.
Are you cleaning top down or bottom up?
Bottom up.
Wow.
Yeah, bottom
Okay.
up.
So
because it's on a freestanding tower in Zion.
Okay. And so what? You're like climbing up, putting in trad gear, taking, cleaning, brushing, pulling blocks off, trying to make moves, get a little bit further.
Yeah. Or just like really, really delicately climbing through the maze and just hoping I don't send anything on James. And then we core shot 5 different ropes on that climb, or 4 different ropes, because we just kept bouldering our ropes.
Like pulling blocks off onto the rope?
Blocks off onto the ropes over and over again. Like we were just, James and I at the end of the season were so broke for having to buy so many dang ropes that season. We donated so many to Kora. And then, just so many ropes, but just trying to get up there. And then James would go and just like throw everything off and just bomb it all as I try to drill a bolt in that really bad rock.
Now, the rock gets progressively worse the higher you go up, right? In Zion?
Yep.
And so this was just bad to start off?
I would say it's more just like big flakes to start off with, that like once you get those off, the climbing's really, really good. But then there's a distinct switch that you get to where you're just like, yeah, this is just bad rock. Fun movement. Like it is a really fun route, but you're just in bad rock.
So the 12D roof, like what kind of movement? Is it like what kind of crack? Are we talking like a big lieback, or are we jamming through the roof?
It starts at number 6, like fully off the belay, number 6. I actually would like use James's shoulder to like actually get into the number 6. And so you're straight right off the deck inverted. And then it pinches down to like 0.3s. And so you have to like 0.3 it. And so you're kind of like liebacking that, more just like dragging your body across it. And then it opens up for a quick pot of number 4s. So you get to like get a nice head jam in there. There's a classic video of me hanging out there with my head like turned sideways, fully jammed. And I'm just breathing like no one's business up in that thing. And then you pull through the roof on like 0.2s.
Wow.
And
0.2s.
So it's
with face, or you tips in that thing?
Just tips on it, but you do have one just like pinnacle foot that you're just standing on. And you're just praying it doesn't pop off. But when I sent it, I was like placing some gear in the roof, and then I tried to place one and instantly pulled it out. Just like instantly broke all the rock around it. So I tried to pull another one, and my hand pops off as I'm going for the last hold. And just somehow save it. And so I was like, all right, glad I don't have to do that again.
Yeah. Has it been repeated?
It's been attempted, but never repeated. No.
Interesting.
Yep.
I feel like, yeah, like what is that? Like, is it just because is it the nature of the climb and how bold it is that it doesn't attract people, or?
I feel like Zion just doesn't attract hard climbers. I feel like most people who come to Zion either go for the adventure side of things, straight like C1 aid climbing up on our classic aid climbing routes that we have, or they get drawn into just like Moonlight Buttress. If you're going to come and climb hard, you're going to climb hard on Moonlight, and you're probably not going to get off anywhere else.
Have you climbed Tatooine?
Yeah.
I love
that
really
route.
good.
It's so good.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's so good. Sustained though. Those 511 pitches hit you hard, one after another after another. Yeah.
There's some hard stuff out there.
Yeah.
I'm close enough where I'm starting to, because Moonlight's on the list.
Yeah.
So I got to try to work up to it.
Moonlight's amazing.
Yeah, it looks good. I saw some pictures of it recently. I'm just like, God, I get on that thing.
Yeah.
So all these core shot ropes, you say that like you're, a very risk averse climber. I feel like I've never even core shot a rope ever. Never. Is it like, because risk is subjective, I would say. So like, what does risk mean to you? Like, is it like I could die, or is it like bodily harm? Like, how do you break that down in your head?
I feel like risk for me is just taking as least amount as possible for a given day or a given route. Like, I cannot go and tell you that I'm not taking any risk when I go climb A4, solo A4. But it's taking as least risk as possible. All of my friends, they'll be laughing at this because I core shot so many ropes every season. I tried to tally it up once, and if you like count each individual core shot I've done, I'm probably in the mid 30s. Like, I do it a lot, and I have had some pretty scary core shots. But I feel like I try to be as safe as possible, and each time I core shot it, I feel like I have a unique reason why I got core shot, and it wasn't actually like a sketchy situation. It's just like, oh, that happened, situation's over, we're safe.
And this is another thing I've been thinking about a lot is like ropes don't break, right? Yeah. And so like, it's almost like the core shot is just like, okay, time to be done. Yeah. It's like, now I need a new rope. But I think a lot of people, like, even the idea of having a core shot is just like, I almost fucking died, like this terrible thing that they want to try to avoid. But it's almost like it's built into the safety system of the rope. It's like the last straw. It's like, this is it, it's over. I feel like the only other reason why like a core shot would be scary is if like you're rubbing over an edge or something where it can get cut. But I guess like, yeah, like what's causing your core shots? Are you like dropping blocks? Are you?
Honestly, everything. I had a few drop blocks. My actually latest core shot was probably my scariest core shot I've ever had. I was soloing on El Cap on the shield, and I just took a very unexpected fall, and I factor to the anchor and core shot it down to 4 strands. Yeah, it was a scary one. I did have a backup rope. And so that was my one thing is I was up there and I was quite scared on the shield. Like, it's pretty intense route. And so I actually did have a backup rope attached to me at that time. And so that's why I was like, okay, like, yeah, core shot into 3 strands. That's scary. That's not safe. I can't say I'm not up here taking risks, but I had a backup rope. It was perfectly fine. I would have taken a bigger fall, but on the shield, you can take as big a fall as you want. Like, you're not hitting anything. You're just flying through the air. Yeah. So like, that's my way of like, okay, I was safe.
You were tied in to the backup?
Yep.
It was a tagline or?
Yeah, it was a tagline, but I had this way of if I broke it in half and then tied to the anchor, and I actually was tied to my belay loop as I solo. And so I would have taken a bigger fall, but it still would have been another one.
Now, was it a serendipitous reason for you to be safe, or because of like you pre-planned that, like, okay, if my rope fails, I have a backup, or was it just happened to be in that situation where it would have been provided as a backup?
Kind of just happens to be in that situation. I do sometimes, whenever I get scared, I love to throw on a backup rope just because I just like doing it. There's no reason not to, in my opinion, especially when I'm soloing. I have my soloing down pat where I don't really have that much stuff. And so why would I tie a fully weighted loop onto my haul loop? Why don't I just tie it onto my belay loop and then just take like 2 extra seconds to set it up perfectly, and it will lock up on me. So
that way you have 2 ropes.
Yeah.
Just in case. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And when you're on El Cap, you kind of wanted it.
I mean, I guess like the next one is the Towers of the Virgin Traverse.
Yeah.
We like you talked about already. We had James on the show and we talked about that pretty extensively.
Yeah.
What did that trip like mean to you personally? And his close call was after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was unrelated.
Unrelated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Totally
what did that
unrelated.
trip mean to you? Like, what was your kind of perception of that, and why did you choose that as an objective with James?
Yeah, for sure. James had a perfect summary of it on your last interview with him. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful set of towers that are nearly impossible to get into. And if people have gone into them before, they're on the sheer face and you can only do like one of them. And this was our way of just linking all of the summits together in one continuous push. And so we got to do 20 of like my favorite Zion summits on rarely climbed peaks. So it took us 2 years to do it. Our first year, we tried as hard as we could, but we got stuck in so much snow above our heads, carrying way too much gear. And then we came back the second year and had a very amazing experience out there of two guys trying our hardest, working through that absolute rubble pile of spires. But amazing, amazing peaks.
Yeah. It seemed like there was a lot of risk management during that kind of trip. Like, how did you, again, with your kind of risk averse nature, or at least your mentality there, how were you justifying the risk that you were putting yourselves in? Like, how was your thought process there in terms of managing the risk?
Yeah, for sure. Every like foot we moved on that traverse, we always had to like think of ways of, are we going to rope up here? Are we not going to rope up here? Are we going to rappel? Are we going to down climb? But one thing I knew going into that, James had a 1-year-old daughter at that point, and we were going to do everything to the best of our abilities. If there was any point of down climbing, we would be rappelling it. If there was any point of scariness, we would put an extra piece of protection. We would go around all of these peaks that we knew of. There wasn't really that hard of a climb that we shouldn't be taking that much risk on each individual peak, especially with our year of experience beforehand. And so we were able to really just move slower than maybe some parties might have, but not take any risk or extra risk throughout the climb.
Would you say, like, so I mean, that like particular one is like stepping more towards like this endurance feat, right? How, like, and there's like the psychological component to that of like staying on and sharp. Like you just said, every decision we make, every foot we make is like a calculation that's mentally taxing over a long period of time. Like, so that psychological fatigue, do you like, how do you process that? And then do you feel like your training in cross country and your endurance background has transferred into that kind of aspect of your climbing?
I think it definitely has. I know that a lot of people, when they talk about that like psychological fatigue, because we were up there for 4 days, 3 nights on the sharp end, on cliff edges, on choss, every single second. A lot of people don't like that. I feel like I love it. I love being in that terrain and traveling through that terrain for a long period of time. That just brings so much joy to me. And so when it like drags other people down, I feel like it almost picks me up and it makes me even more psyched to be there, that like, oh, it's like, it's still giving it to us. It's still hard. Like we're still having to work for every foot. So I like it.
So you don't get taxed?
No, not really.
You're able to just stay sharp?
Yeah.
Interesting.
To a point.
Yeah, to a point. What about like the relationship between you and James? Like, obviously I feel like during those long bouts, there's like a give and a take. There's breath between someone struggling and someone carrying the team. Like, how did you guys balance that kind of back and forth? Like, were you guys both pretty locked in the whole time, or were there switches between people taking the weight of kind of the burden of doing what you guys were doing?
I think James and I are two very different climbers and we work very well together. James is all in the planning aspect. I've never seen someone so good at planning out. This guy can pull up Google Earth, zoom into a random blob of pixels and be like, all right, that tree to that tree is 65-meter rappel, and that tree to this bush, and he'll have it down. And he'll be like, Connor, down there's a 65-meter rappel, and it will be exactly 65 meters. And that traverse would never have been possible without him and that knowledge, where I feel like I more make up for it in the strength aspect. And so I can be the one who takes the leads. I can be the one who carries the heavier packs, and I can be that person. And so we both need each other in that situation to push each other through. But for the time that we actually did do the traverse, James was fighting off this like terrible cold that he got. And so it kind of did come on me to be like, all right, he's going to kind of be the brains and I'll kind of be just the bronze. And so I'm going to be the one who's carrying it with my head down, and he's going to be the one making the decisions and picking out the routes for us.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I definitely like I've been blessed enough to climb with a single partner for most of my climbs. It's been 2 different partners, but I always have large blocks of climbing with one person. And I love the time that you get to develop with that kind of person and the partnership that you build. And you really get to understand the nuances of like what each person brings to the team and where the weaknesses are and like where you can start to support each other. So it's really cool. So yeah, let's talk about Tide Wave Zero. What was your, so 5 hours car to car?
Yeah.
And it's how many, 2,000 feet?
Yeah, 21 pitches.
21
like
pitches?
That. Yeah.
Did you simul the whole thing? How many blocks?
I led every pitch in, I want to say 4 pitches.
So
The
you
4
broke it
blocks.
down into,
Yeah.
so 5 pitches at a time, essentially?
Yeah, it breaks out pretty well. So I just like led as far as I could go. And then when I ran out of draws, I led just to the base of the 12A pitch. Then just
So that way
sent
your
the
first
12A
one was
pitch.
on belay, yeah.
Yep. Sent the 12A pitch just as a singular pitch. And then belayed that and then topped out after that.
Is that the only 12A pitch on the climb?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, everything else is just absolute cruiser 5.9 plus.
Oh,
Just
okay.
overhanging jugs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah.
Okay, it's starting to piece together a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's a really good
Who
route.
did you climb that with?
Fallon Rao.
Oh, okay. The lady climber?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I was there for 3 weeks down with her. Yeah.
What's her last name?
Rao.
Rao. Okay.
Yeah.
Part of the St. George crew.
Yep.
Same crew.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Same crew. We're definitely a small crew, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Was that like and you did Sendero Luminoso as well down
Yep.
there?
Yeah.
Remind me what that route is?
So that's the classic Honnold route that he free soloed a long time ago. That one, I think it gets 12D, but I'm mostly proud of that route. Just it's so incredibly stacked. I think there's 10 512s on that route, 10 512 pitches, and like 7 of them come in a row. So and they're not all 12As. Most of them are 12Bs. Depends what guidebook you look at and all that. But yeah, it was a long effort of piecing that together. And finally, at I think it was our last full climbing day we had while down there, I was able to supported me on a full ground up lead ascent of it.
Was that, so you projected that one kind of?
Kinda. I had 1 day on it. No, 2 days on it, and then I sent the 3rd day.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Did you get to the top on the other 2 days?
No, we just went up to the first 12D pitch. I actually never saw basically 3/4 of the route on my send go because the first 5 pitches wrecked me every single time I tried them. That we just ended up going down. But on the last day, I was able to link it all perfectly and then just keep going.
That's cool, man.
Through cramping the entire route.
Wow. What kind of climbing? Face climbing the whole time?
Yeah, completely face.
Like techie vert, overhanging?
Techie vert, the foot technique is everything on that route.
That's cool, man.
Completely foot technique.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's my favorite kind of climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Potrero. Potero's amazing.
Hell yeah. I got to make it down there.
Yeah.
So many places to go, man.
So many, yeah.
So many. This show is brought to you by Lives in Designs. Let's be honest, most of our clothes don't last nearly as long as they should. Too often, they fall apart long before the sting of the price tag ever fades. And when something does rip or tear, most brands do nothing in the form of support, repair, or replacement. Lives in is different. They design one quality product at a time with a simple philosophy. Build outdoor apparel that fits well, works well, and lasts longer, so that you can wear it more, keep it longer, and spend more time outside doing what you love. Plus, they have an in-house repair program, so that if your clothes rip, tear, or fall apart in any way, you can send them in to Lives In. You even get to decide whether your repair falls under warranty or normal wear and tear. Plus, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can buy it, try it, and if you still don't like it, they will give you your money back. Right now, you can get 15% off at Lives In by using the link in the description below and using code TCM15 at checkout. That's the link in the description below and code TCM15 for 15% off at checkout. And remember, every dollar spent at Lives In is a dollar spent supporting this podcast. Was that, so this Kora, you're first ascent projecting, you do Towers of the Virgin. That's this big endurance thing.
Yeah.
A lot of ropeless climbing, a lot of rappels, a lot of logistics. And then we're doing Time Wave Zero and Sendero. Time Wave Zero is a simul, you're working on those skills, and then you're linking, a super hard climb with all these pitches back together. when we start to get into like this triple wall, the solo, you're starting to rope solo at this point.
Yeah.
When did that start to enter the picture?
Ooh, I've been really, really loving aid rope soloing just because I feel like it opens up so much that I wouldn't be able to do. And so I've been doing that for 4 years now, and maybe the last 2 years, it's been probably my most my most common form of climbing. I love aid rope soloing and lead rope soloing a lot. I love just like you can't rely on anyone else. It's all up to you if you're going to succeed, if you're going to get your rope stuck, like everything that happens, it's your fault. Success, failure, your fault.
I guess I want to talk about like the systems that you're using. So like for rope, for someone who doesn't understand what lead rope soloing is, I guess like I think I've definitely got some audience here that is a little bit unfamiliar with the process. Just walk me through the process of lead rope soloing a little bit.
Yeah. So when you get to an anchor, you tie into the anchor directly. And then the most basic and common form is you just hook your grigri in like you're going to belay the anchor up. And then you put either backup knots, backup belay devices, micro tractions behind it, just in case it doesn't lock up, or to also help it feed correctly. And then you just take off climbing, clipping your gear like normal. Everything is like normal. And then when you get to the top, you have to tie into the anchor, rappel all the way back down, grab all of your gear, Jumar all the way back up, and then redo it all again. So it's, you do the route 3 times, and you're responsible for everything. You got to climb it all.
And you started this 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Was it out of necessity because you didn't have partners for the objectives that you wanted to do?
Totally. Yeah. Like when I'm traveling, I want to go do these like huge big walls, but I don't really trust anyone to just like pick a rando and just like, okay, let's go do this like random desert wall, or not even being able to find someone to climb these remote walls with me. Definitely a necessity. And then it slowly became into something that I was like, oh, I actually like really like this.
Do you feel like that's a common thing in the kind of category of climber that you are?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And would you say most of it is lack of compatibility or lack of people that actually climb your level?
I definitely don't want to say climb my level, but I want to say like people who want to do those summits and want to maybe do them at the speed I want to do them. Yeah. But also I love doing it myself. Like I just love the aspect of roping up yourself. Especially like I really found a lot of joy in it when I was in Yosemite this year, and being able to do big El Cap days by yourself. That was just super fun for me.
What do you get out of the experience that you don't get out of a partner, like a traditional partner climb?
God, I just love big days by yourself in the mountains. I just love that where you're pushing hard, you're breathing heavy, and you're just working through all of the gear and systems. That's a huge thing that I love, and a lot of systems go into rope soloing. You can always tell a good rope soloist what a bad rope soloist, because if you're a bad rope soloist, you're just stuck in your ropes. Just knots everywhere. You don't know what end is going where. Because when you look down from your belay device, you can have anywhere from like 4 to 5 strands just hanging off your harness at one time. And so just the systems and getting that all down pat and super fun to work through. And then also being able to do it with somewhat speed to be able to link up climbs or link up different walls.
Is there like, I guess I'm fishing for like this mentality that you're in. Like, what do you like when you're alone on the wall? Like, is there like a mental place you get into? Are there like things that you think about, or are you just immersed in the process?
Oh, fully immersed. Yeah. I'm just having fun and just more just like so much thoughts going through my brain about like when you're aid soloing or speed aid soloing, what's the next piece of gear? What should I load up? How should I set up this situation to better me? Like, am I going to be lowering out? How am I going to wrap down? Like, there's so much stuff that I think about and have to pursue like really fast. Especially when I'm like speed aid soloing or like free as can be. I have like 2 pieces of gear hanging out of both of my sides of my mouth, have them like loaded up into my hands as you're like trying not to drop anything. And you have like a 5 loaded next to a 0.3. And yeah, you're just trying to climb fast and smooth and like chase the flow state of it.
So like linking the Zion triple, is that what it's called? The triple wall? Solo in 12 hours. The connection is Touchstone, Moonlight, and Prodigal Son.
Yeah.
When did that become possible in your brain?
Ooh. I don't think it was never a thought of, like, I always just thought, like, because I grew up under, like, thinking, like, that's what Honnold did. Like, I could never do that. Like, I would never be able to do that.
Did he free all of it?
No, I don't think he freed all of it because Prodigal doesn't go free.
Okay, got it.
But I was like, no, I can't do that. But until this last year when I was actually supposed to do it with a partner, I was supposed to do it with James. He got into an accident, and then I was kind of like, I'm in shape and I already know these walls. I wonder if I could just like see how it goes. But then I spent the whole season working down each wall individually, getting it down where I would have the perfect rack and I would know each individual placement and where it goes and how to work out my systems the best, to almost like cheat some of the walls and be able to like, okay, I can do this wall super fast if I just like do it this way. But one thing that I made sure about is I was roped up for every single pitch. I never free soloed a single thing except for I did free solo the first pitch of Moonlight. I have to say that because if you fall, you're hitting a ledge anyways. Like, it's not any safety reasons to have a rope. But I always had very much more than adequate gear. And that's one thing that I was like, okay, I could probably like shave off 30, 45 minutes if I run it out or don't carry as much gear. And I was like, nah, I would rather not do that. I'd rather just be safe and get the safest, fastest route.
And the key is to free as much as possible, right?
That's what every party that's tried it, like when people do it as party of two, that's what mostly they focus on. But I felt that I was almost quicker in my ladders. So I freed Moonlight and I freed almost all of Touchstone, but I feel like I'm quicker running up my ladders and just top stepping and just swinging my ladders one over another than I am trying to free climb it. I do quite well on like cam handsing, and so that's a French free, and so that's what I focused on at like Moonlight, because Moonlight's so splitter. You can keep one cam the whole entire pitch, and you never really have to leave it. And so you can do it there, but like stuff is like Prodigal Son, I was probably in my ladders for almost every move.
How did you feel after you were done with that?
I wanted to do another wall. I so wanted to do another wall.
You were just like zipping.
I was so zipping because I expected to be on top in like 22 hours, and it was 12 hours and I was on top, and I was like, oh, I could like wrap down and I could quickly like scrounge together a rack and go over and do another wall. But I was like, it's so hard to get off of Prodigal, and I only had one rope because I wasn't going to wrap. I had to walk off Prodigal. And so I was like, maybe another day I'll come back and do 4 walls.
And then just to be clear, you're doing this solo, so you have to climb up, wrap down, jug back up.
Yeah.
Every pitch.
And
you still did all 3 walls in 12 hours.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah, thank you.
If you were to attribute like one part of your systems to the reason why I was successful, do you have like a particular thing that was like the secret or the secret sauce or like
my secret? I've actually had a lot of people ask me this
because it's like, it's wild.
Yeah.
You'd think that there's something that people are just missing.
I would say it's really stupid, but I can get into a jog. I feel like I always call it a jogging stance when I'm running. And it's when you run splitters and you are in your ladders and you're almost, God, how do I explain it? You're almost the same movement of jugging up a rope. If you know that movement, you legitimately just jug up a rope, but instead of holding on to your jug, it's cam handsing in your ladders, and you're just like shifting it up. And so you can kind of actually go as fast as you can breathe.
So every time you place, you stand.
Just instantly.
And then you place and stand.
Yeah, and you're not actually like walking up your ladders.
No.
You're just placing and standing and just like not even making that much progress, but you're just super quick.
But the consistency gets you up to really fast.
Yeah.
And the key there is a splitter. Because you have to
definitely
change cams.
Yeah.
Have you ever attached like multiple size cams to the top of your ladder so you can switch?
Oh, I always have like, it's just this cluster of cams on it. Oh yeah,
okay.
No, definitely. And the key is actually you hold each cam with each finger.
No way.
And so you can twist it onto it. And so you actually can do the jug.
Yeah.
And if it changes, you just like change your thumb to a different cam
and then flip it up.
Twist it in. Yeah.
There's the secret.
In theory, it works. If anyone out there goes and tries to do it, they will like totally just like mess it up 100 times. And I definitely mess it up, but it's really fast if you can get it right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Just something I worked through and just had fun.
Have you heard of
figuring it out.
anybody doing that?
No, because everyone just can free it. Like if they're trying to move that fast on that like splitter or easy of terrain, they're just freeing
Would
it.
you think you could beat somebody though that was freeing it?
I know I can because I've raced.
You raced somebody?
I've raced some people where it's just like, okay, like they're really fast free climber, but I feel like I could beat them on ladders, and I can beat them on ladders. Not saying like I bet everyone can beat me speed climbing, like, but on ladders I can be pretty quick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I feel like that's such a niche.
It's so niche.
Such
I
a
know.
niche thing. Yeah. Does it take like the movement? It's repetitive. Does it take away from the experience because you're not like free climbing? There's not that flow.
No, because I still find flow, and also the systems are super intense for that. And how, yeah, it's repetitive, but you're moving through so much terrain so fast that it's almost like you're like, okay, now it's a whole new situation here. Like I'm already through that section so quickly.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was the one thing that turned me off from ice climbing. It's just like pick, stand. It's like, okay, got it. I got the whole sport.
Yeah,
kind of. You know, obviously.
But there's no new systems in play at that. Like I feel like ice climbing, like this is totally wrong, but every ice pitch is kind of the same. You have a blair at the bottom, you blade, pick, stands in. But every aid solo or every speed aid solo, it's always different. Your system's always changing. How you're going to do it is always changing.
I could see that. I feel like that for every rock climb. It's so wild that you like every climb is different.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
It is so crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like what other kind of sport or activity has such variety?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Surfing?
No.
But not really, because it's still consistent with the same wave.
Yeah, I was actually wondering that. Like, does a surfer like feel each individual wave? Yeah. I don't know if I'm weird, but I memorize movements for different routes. Like when I brought up Sonic Youth, I did that route. God, it had to have been 8 years ago. I still have the crux move dialed.
Yeah.
Like I still know
the in your neurons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And my parents always used to make fun of me because I'd be sitting at dinner and I'd just be totally zoned out, just like working through a random crux in my head, just walking through it in my mind.
You're just like Adam Onder on the ground, just like meditating.
Just like under the table, just like
holding onto the like creepers of the table. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I still have that, and I still think about that a ton of just like each individual move. And I've done thousands and thousands of pitches, and I feel like none of them
are the same,
close to the same. Mm-hmm. They all have their each individual unique flair.
But you're still building this library of movement in your brain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you think about visualization? Do you like, you just kind of talked about it. You're at the dinner table as a kid, like visualizing the movement. How much of that do you feel like applies to climbing, and how like underutilized do you think it is in climbing for most people?
Super underutilized, especially for like, I know I underutilize it a lot too, but you can work out all the different, like, especially big wall climbing. People get up on big walls and they're like, don't know. They get into situations that they don't know, but it's obvious if you just thought about it beforehand and visualized it before you got into that situation, how you can solve it super quickly and super efficiently and easily, and not just like wait till you're in the moment, because it's coming up for a while. It's not like climbing's such a slow sport. It's not like, oh, instantly this happened. Yeah. It's like you can just visualize it coming in, and then
I think a lot of people spend the time being in a state of fear of the unknown coming up to the moment rather than trying to solve the problem before it's there.
100%. 100%. That especially speaks to like big wall climbers when they have their whole cluster of bags and ropes and all that. I've seen it so many times on big walls where they're like, oh, that's about to cause us harm. Like we're about to get screwed by that. And then they do nothing. They get screwed by it. So,
yeah, I feel like I love the concept of visualization, not only in climbing, but in my life in general. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been in the shower, just like thinking about shit, you know, like thinking about things that are to come. Like if I have a conversation with somebody coming up, it's just like, well, how could it go? Like if it goes this way, what do I say if this happens? Like, you know, and like just living your life in the future in all these different ways so that when it does happen, there's this sense of familiarity. And I feel like we can use that in climbing too. It's like, you might not be able to predict exactly what happens, but if you can think about yourself being in that place, especially if you have pictures of the wall or you've been able to read some beta, like put yourself there in your brain. And then when you're there, yeah, like I said, it's the sense of familiarity. And so the like nervousness or the jitters or the fear, it kind of goes away because your body's like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I think that's
you
super
just
important.
described why I love solo climbing and why I love like solo big days in the mountains. It's just like being able to like be by yourself and visualize your entire life or anything that pops up in your brain you're not hiding from and you're just visualizing it all.
You don't have anybody to talk to or
Nope.
entertain or
Nope.
or
you just have
there's no
yourself,
back and forth.
for
yeah.
better or for worse.
That's another thing I love about climbing too, is a lot of people call it a mirror.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. I think that especially when you start getting to like more riskier things where your body's in this heightened sense of awareness. I think that if you're like going through some shit or you're like not in a good spot mentally, like that stuff is going to come out while you're out there. And so it's so important to like ground yourself as much as you can as a human in your normal life, so that when you go to the mountains, like you don't have these like traumatic things that you have to process. Sometimes you need to do that.
No, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. It forces you to reckon yourself with like your demons.
No, definitely. Yeah.
And I think that's so therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm definitely a masochist and I have to do that a lot of times to myself. Like with anything big that happens in my life, I always have like a few 100-mile effort right after that. Like if like a big moment happens, like I break up, it's like 500-mile run after that. Or like I biked to Mexico after a breakup or like stuff like that. You're like, all right, I got to do this now.
Yeah.
Gotta
Job
go
change.
sit by myself.
You're going on a 200-miler.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool, man. What have you learned about yourself during those times?
Oh, I feel like I learned everything.
Everything, who you are, your identity.
100%.
What has surprised you?
I feel like after I get back from those runs, I'm fully different. Or big days, like some day that just crushes you in the mountains, or more for me now, it has to be like multiple days, like maybe 2-week efforts or something like that. You get back and I'm just a completely different person. I feel like I'm more quiet. I'm more comfortable with who I am and comfortable with each outcome or everything that happens. It just can happen. I don't have to like try to dictate it at any point.
I like that. Yeah, there's something too about like the effort over such a long period of time.
Yeah.
Like I just got done, this is small potatoes in comparison to the stuff you do.
Good.
But I coined it like the brownstone bash. I did like Mr. Z to Armatron to Sweet Thin to Nightcrawler. It's like 3,000 feet of climbing. And I don't know what it was, but like at the first pitch of Nightcrawler at the end of the day, I was like climbing up the first pitch and like I like just started laughing. And I was just like, Bryce, I don't know if I'm walking or climbing. I can't tell the difference anymore.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is so sick, because my brain was just like elsewhere. And I was just like floating around, just like processing my thoughts and just like wandering around. But my body was just like moving effortlessly through the terrain.
Blissful.
Yeah. And it was such a cool experience. I got to the bottom, like top of the first pitch, and I was like, damn, that was some flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, but I ran the Colorado Trail, the 500-mile trail across Colorado, and I did it in 13 days. So it's like 40-ish miles a day. And just by the end of that, I was just so comfortable with everything and just the flow of it and running through it that like almost when the finish line comes, you're like, I don't really want it to come yet. Like I want to go back into the mountains. I don't want to be here. Like just the flow of things where you're like, I'm almost like, I don't want to cry right now. I'm almost past that. I'm almost just like, just in pure bliss.
Yeah. You get past the uncomfortable and you're just like floating. I don't even know. It's a weird feeling. I can't imagine with the taste that I've had, I can't imagine what it's like exponentially.
It's addicting. Just like I will run the rest of my life trying to chase that one feeling.
Yeah. Do you think that's just specifically attached to endurance?
For me, yes. For me, I've only been able to feel it on hard days out or almost like crushing days out.
Do you feel like it's a physical reaction or a mental reaction to the tiredness?
Oh, both.
Both?
Yeah, definitely both.
And so you would think that activities that drain you faster give you a better flow? So like that's why like longer big climbing days probably give you more of that feeling than like a longer run. Would that make sense?
I think it would, but on a run you can get yourself into a deeper place. I feel like in a climb, like I would not want to get myself into as deep as I dig of a hole as I'm running. Like that would just be so dangerous. Like when I run, I dig a deep hole. I dig a hole where there's nothing behind my eyes, don't know what's out there. I'd have very few brain cells, and that would be very scary while climbing.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that would be dangerous.
You were able to go deeper
deep.
because you don't have to protect your life.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put one foot in the front of the other.
Yeah, fully. Yeah.
Interesting.
And you barely even have to like steer. Like you have someone behind you, or even if you're alone, you just look at your GPX track and you just like keep going.
Just like black out for a little bit.
Yep, definitely.
What about, so we're talking about this like endurance and this blissful state. What about when things get hard? Because obviously it's not like this, at least I'm projecting here, but there's got to be these like dips, whether it's because you forgot to eat or you're bonking, like, and then you've got this mental taxing situation where you're like having to come back out of the hole. Have you experienced that kind of like disparity, the crushing kind of like blow to morale when you're alone? And how do you handle that? How do you get out of it?
I feel like there's different ways. I never eat properly on these long runs. And so at a certain point, I will always bonk or just have a low point in the run. And so just like always having to like, okay, I haven't eaten anything in 12 hours. Like, I feel like crap. Like, I should start trying to eat now. And it's just like digging yourself out of a hole. Cause I feel like I always have to dig the hole first before I can realize, oh, like, should have probably eaten before this, or like, I've been out of water for the last few miles. Like, but the scariest I've ever been in the mountains was through one of those crushing blows. I was almost finished with the whirl. If you know what that is, it's the Wasatch Ultimate Ridge linkup. You link up all the peaks around Little Cottonwood Canyon. And I was doing it solo on site, and I've never been in the Wasatch before. And it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just up on a random peak that I have no clue where I am and just completely lost. And it's like, well, haven't eaten anything, haven't done anything, can't call search and rescue because I don't even have a phone right now. Like, and so you kind of just have to like pick up your pieces and run out of there. And it's really hard in the moment, but then when you look back at it, it's the best memories, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the whole like coined type 2 fun or whatever. Yep. It's like terrible in the moment, but awesome when you get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like again, you talk about that. Obviously, it's after the fact, so it's like, that was really fun. But like how, I guess in that moment, like how desperate was it? Like how much of the despair or fear, like are you really good at keeping that away?
I am really good at keeping it away, but in that moment in time, I threw up, decided, okay, I should take a nap. I was on the top of a peak, so I took a nap, stood up, instantly like started to lean over the edge of the cliff, was like, oh God, stopped myself, threw up again, and just started walking. Just was like, all right, we're walking out of here. Like,
almost like not doing anything is like just signing yourself up for death, just like sitting there.
Yep, yeah, exactly. But I feel like you just have to just have the mental capacity just to battle and just to go into battle some of those times. That doesn't mean all these long days I'm going into like this deepest hole, but some days that you really want to, or shit goes awry, you kind of just have to like just burr down and just one foot in front of the other and get yourself out of it.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like you're maybe not looking for it, but anticipating it.
Yeah.
It's like
chasing it, but hoping you don't find it.
It's like part of the experience.
Yeah,
it might come.
But you're just hoping it doesn't, but it probably will.
It probably will.
Yeah.
But again, with the familiarization, like you've been there before and you're like, God, exactly, I'm here again.
Yeah.
Time to bear down and put one more foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild, man. Yeah, the long endurance stuff is really inspiring. Such like a mental challenge.
Yeah.
And I love the vision of it too. You're just like, what's possible? What can I do? What can I do in 24 hours? What can I do in 48 hours? Like, how long can I just stay moving?
Stay in the pain cave, stay. And also there's just like the beauty aspect of it where it's like, wow, I can traverse whole mountain ranges, or I can do all of these routes. I can do all of this stuff in just a day. And that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that was one thing. Again, like small potatoes, but just even that link up, it's just the amount of ground you could cover.
Yes.
If you just like put your mind to it and think that it's possible.
Yep. And the efficiency.
And the efficiency is so key. Like I have a quote that I've been following is enjoyment is, or if it's either enjoyment is efficiency or efficiency is enjoyment.
Yeah.
And it's so true.
It
Like
is,
when you're
yeah.
dialed and everything, like there's not a single step in the process where you are wasting time. You're just like flowing, you're moving,
Yeah.
everything is dialed. Like, oh man, it feels so good.
I don't speed climb, I climb efficiently.
Yeah.
Like that's the good feeling. You're not like racing up something,
Yeah.
you're just flowing up something.
Yeah. Like that was definitely something. I climbed a half dome in a day recently,
Mhm.
and I approached the bottom. We were trying to pass somebody, so there was a bit of a rush, but I was just like sprinting up the thing.
Was it the first pitch or?
The first, like we simuled the first, like I simuled pitch 1 through 3.5.
That's like the hardest block.
I know. And I was like just sprinting up the thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got to like P4 and I was gassed, and we were able to stay up and go for it. But then I was climbing the other day and I was climbing just as fast,
Yeah.
but way chiller. I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
This is sustainable.
Yeah.
This is what you look for. Like smooth is fast. Yeah. And that was really, really cool. That feeling for sure is addicting. Yeah. Even for me, more so than like climbing something super hard, like climbing over a bunch of terrain, like covering 1,000 feet in an hour. It's like, that's sick.
I feel like though that's the two things that like have made me addicted to the sport is either like flowing through thousands of feet of climbing or the flow state you get from just the movement or perfection of movement.
Mm-hmm. And it is cool that there's both that you can
but
chase.
They both come in at the same point of like, yeah, they're both are perfection of movement through training.
For sure. Quick aside, if you're anything like me, you want climbing gear that's durable, stylish, and actually comfortable. No one wants to deal with blown seams, tight hip mobility, or fabric that deteriorates after a single chimney. Livezen makes the most stylish and durable outdoor apparel on the market, and their EcoTrek trail pants are literally the best climbing pants I've ever worn. They're comfortable, flexible, and packed with thoughtful features. A built-in drawstring, a phone pocket, an innovative leg roll-up system, and stitching designed specifically for movement. Plus, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can buy them, try them, and if you still don't like them, they will give you your money back. Right now, you can get 15% off your next pair of EcoTrek trail pants by using the link in the description below and using code TCM15 at checkout. That's the link in the description below and using code TCM15 at checkout. And remember, every dollar spent at Livezen is a dollar spent supporting this podcast. So there's like this fallacy, I believe, that hard trad lines have to be inherently bold, dangerous, reckless, and unsustainable.
No.
I just don't think it's true.
Definitely not. No.
I think that there's some people that believe that.
Yeah.
Why do you think that there is a general belief that as we climb harder trad grades, it is inherently more dangerous?
I feel like when we just look at like the pros who are out there climbing just these insanely bold routes, because those are the ones that get the photos. Those massive runouts, those get us excited. So that's what we're seeing on the feed every day. But hard trad routes don't always have to be dangerous at all. I know this one I'm working on, the cam's above my head. Like it's safer than any fall I take any day. I have 2 cams backed up 0.75s in amazing rock above my head. Like it's not dangerous at all. Super safe. You can choose to go into more dangerous routes, just like you can choose to go into more dangerous 510s, but it's a choice. It's not a necessity at any point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that it's like a self-limiting belief. It's like it's almost like a reason not to try hard. And I just with my Instagram, I get like a large like swath of different kind of people commenting, and so I get to kind of see like this consensus mentality of like how people think about climbing, especially when you start to get into like the general population of people that don't climb. It's really interesting to see how like general population thinks of us. Like people think we're crazy, like reckless, like
adrenaline. Too, that's the one
like
that
we're addicted to getting high. Like someone's like, go do drugs, it's safer. I
don't know about that.
That's good advice. Yeah.
I think it's also like bringing it back to the danger aspect. Falling on 5.7 is super, super dangerous, which people don't understand. Once you get into 5.11s, falling isn't as dangerous. And I feel like it's the same thing for trad routes, where on that 5.7, you're not placing as much as someone would be on 5.13 trad routes. On 5.13 trad routes, you're placing every few feet.
Well, not only are you not placing as much, but the falls, you're probably going to hit something.
Yeah, you're going to hit a ledge.
Whether the pieces at your hips or not, you're most likely going to hit something.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been into like ground fall or ledge fall potential on any of my harder trad routes I've led. Maybe the gear might be bad, but it's not like I'm going to hit anything. And you're also expecting to fall. That's the other key aspect to it. Like on the 5.7, when you do fall, you're not expecting it and things are going to go awry for that. But on the harder trad routes, you're expecting to fall and you've already prepared for it. Yep.
Okay, what about like this? So there's this whole mentality of like, if you're not falling, you're not trying. That whole like that mantra, or what's the word? Anyway, how have you like processed that in your progression as a climber? Like, has falling ever been something that has like scared you, or have it always just been a part of the sport and you've been able to compartmentalize it and know when it's okay to fall? Like, have you progressed in that kind of understanding of the sport at all?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to a friend about this today. I went hundreds of pitches without falling from when I first started. And then after that, I became super confident, super aware of falling, and I can take falls a lot. And I've taken a lot of big falls that have rattled me in the past, but I feel like I was able to like work through it, and now I fall a lot, and I can like mentally prepare myself for each individual fall. But a few years ago, I did have some issues because I was climbing a lot of R-rated pitches, and I couldn't like turn the knob and be like, okay, now I'm climbing sport, and so now it's like totally free to fall whenever I want, and then turn back and be like, okay, now you're on an R-rated pitch where you cannot fall. And I had a hard time with that for a while, where I'd be like almost climbing inside and I'd get scared because you're just like, oh my God, I can't fall. And you're like, no, I'm safe now. Now is when I can fall. And so I feel like it's just being able to know when you can fall, when you can't fall, and being able to judge that appropriately.
Yeah. I mean, that's the key for sure. Hard to do sometimes. Yeah. And it's also like subject to human error. Because you could think that you're okay and you ended up not being. Yeah. And that's the hard thing too. And I guess for me, and I know it's a limiting belief, but it's it's weird because it's been what has allowed me to progress as a climber is basically like climb. Like I climb like a soloist in my movement. I'm very controlled, very precise. Like I don't ever just go for a move if I don't think I can make it. Yeah. And I always try to have good gear, but basically I guess what I'm saying is like, if I get to a spot where I'm like 98% sure that I'm going to come off trying to make the next move and I have the opportunity to place and take, I'll just place and take. I don't really care about like, to me, I'm so certain that I'm not going to be able to pull off the move that I would rather just place and take, shake out, and then execute the move with rest and like do it flawlessly than just like throw myself at something and then potentially whip just because I wanted to try to go for it.
I feel like I have a different mindset going into it. I feel like I would rather place and not take, but be like, all right, I know I'm going to fall, but let's just see what happens. And then be able to like push myself to the limit, knowing I have that gear right there that I could have taken on, but I'm just going to okay, I'm probably going to fall, but I don't really care. I'm just going to see. Yeah.
I guess for me, like the human error aspect of it, because are you familiar with my accident?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like laid a foundation of mistrust
really
in my gear, to the point where like I climb above gear. I feel like I know how to place gear. I wouldn't be climbing if I didn't think I could trust myself. But there's that weird thing of like choosing to fall or choosing to put yourself in a position of falling.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're stacking the odds against you over time rather than just like minimizing the risk. It's like, okay, if I just take here,
it's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, the pieces are going to blow with me just sitting there on it. And so, yeah, I don't know. I definitely understand that it's a limiting belief now. Yeah. And that if I were trying to like grow and progress, I'm going to have to eventually kind of move past it.
How many pitches do you say that you have since the accident?
Oh my gosh, dude. Probably like 900, 800.
Yeah.
Like a large volume.
And you're still thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not like, again, like I said, the mentality has actually allowed me to progress. It's allowed me to put myself in positions where I'm like, man, that's really like Rainbow Wall. I would never have gone after that without the ability of like, oh, I can just place and take. Yeah. And so it's been cool. I harp on this a lot on the podcast, so I don't want to go on too much. I just think it's so important because I feel like a lot of people hold themselves back and they are scared of the risk or scared of falling or whatever. And I think that's like valid. It's like fucking scary. And that's where you can injure yourself. It's just so like the ability to place and take, I think isn't talked about very much because like, I think ingrained in the sport is performance. It's like, I want to see what happens. Like I could push it to the edge, but I think for some people it's not the time yet.
No, yeah. You can change climbing. Climbing doesn't have to be anything that you don't want it to be. It could be absolutely anything you want. You can do whatever you want. You can rappel into every climb you want and just fiddle around or swing on ropes. Like I love when I watch like little kids climb, and the whole fun of climbing is for them just to like swing on ropes. And that's like the best day ever. And so what happened to us where it's like, I have to do this exact rule or else it's not perfect. Like you can do whatever you want. It just whatever finds you, like whatever you find joy in and whatever you can progress in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever you find fun. Yeah. And are safe doing at the same time. What about the concept of luck? Do you find that does luck play a role in your risk assessment? Have you found luck play a role in your survival up to this point?
I hope not. I feel like luck is a really bad thing to rely on. Like, sure, that's awesome if you get it, but that's really bad to rely on.
Mm-hmm. I think that I love the phrase like luck favors the prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like for someone like you who's risk averse and everything's calculated and everything, like that is the kind of person that luck plays a role in. It's like the core shot, you know, obviously you had a backup, but like there's luck that the other four didn't break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like there's weird, like maybe if you didn't have a backup rope,
then it would have happened.
And you would have died.
Yep.
You know, it's like weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you got to be prepared and then luck will be on your side.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're reckless and then luck sometimes goes the other way.
Yeah, I never thought about that. That would, yeah. No, definitely. I would just not want to rely on that. Like I've seen a lot of people get lucky and I'm just I feel like I always try to climb or at least like adventure in the mountains flawlessly and never having to call SAR, I can say I've never been in an accident like ever. I've never broken any bones, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And you attribute that to your level of preparation and visualization of the objectives that you're putting yourself in.
Definitely. Yeah. And just, building the base level, not jumping ahead of time, knowing I have thousands of pitches standing behind what I'm about to do today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then how do you like throw yourself at objectives that you find like wild and like groundbreaking for yourself?
That's the thing. I don't feel like anything I do is groundbreaking because everything I do is just half a step past what I did.
Past what you've done
before. Yeah. Because I know specifically like when I was really trying to see like what harder aid means to me, it's like, okay, cool. I just did a big wall with one A3 pitch. Now my next step is I'm going to do a big wall with two A3 pitches. And I'm going to do a big wall with maybe two A2 pitches and then an A3 pitch. Like it's just such a small progression, but that progression is happening 2 times a week. That it's like, okay, I only took one step forward, but eventually only what people see is they're like, oh, he did an A3, oh, he did an A4, oh, he's doing this. Like he's soloing all these big walls. And it's like, not really. I'm doing like small micro stepping forward.
So what do you say to someone who doesn't have as much time allowed to be dedicated to climbing, the weekend warrior, and all they get is the 1 day a week or something like that, and they're feeling pressured to maybe jump steps because they don't have the time? Yeah. What advice would you have for somebody like that is still like wanting to progress but feeling the pressure of time?
Yo, you need a mentor or pay for a guide. Like it's not that much money to pay a dirtbag to teach them their ways for a little bit of time. And then you can definitely jump steps, but you just got the insider knowledge from thousands of pitches. And you can be like, okay, I kind of understand this now. I can like maybe jump up a little bit and start pushing it because I understand the systems better. I just learned from his mistakes that he made and I can better myself now.
Yeah. So you do some instruction too, right? Mm-hmm. What is your thought on the evolution of mentorship in climbing? Because I feel like in the beginning, mentorship was like almost a requirement because there weren't enough climbers. Like you had to mentorship the people around you to even have climbing partners in the first place.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like flipped the other way. It's now there's too many climbers and not enough mentors.
Yeah.
How have you seen the role of mentorship play in like your life and the climbing community as a whole?
all through like middle school, high school, I had amazing mentors who taught me how to climb or paying for guides that would teach me and better me. And then when I moved to college, I just saw so many people just going out and figuring it out. All of my college friends, they all had so many accidents listed in their books from just like, oh yeah, we just went and tried a big wall and we didn't make it, or we fell off this, or I broke my ankle, or I broke my back. Like, but they're just lacking mentorship. And I see so many people who are coming in who are like, oh, I want to learn how to aid climb, or I want to learn how to do this. And I love being able to do that because I feel like I'm definitely helping them move through the accidents and skip this accident prone phase when on your first few years of climbing. Because I just think that's like really scary to see people on that phase of climbing where they're just like, I'm just going to go see if I can do it, and then get hurt in the process.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where luck plays a huge role, is people like that. And I was one of them in the beginning. I was one of them that would just go out and just like, let me figure it out.
You mentioned that in your own.
And yeah, I mean, I'm here. But yeah, that's cool, man. I think that it is huge. And whether it was good or bad, even during that time, I was kind of like mentoring the people around me. I was like, come on, let's go. Let me show you what I know. Like, I don't know shit, but I know more than you.
You learn it one day and then you teach it the next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think that just the discipline and the mentality of teaching people, I think it hones your own skills.
Definitely, yeah.
And it makes you're forced to be articulate about what you know, and you're like testing what you know. You're like, do I actually know what I'm talking about? You know?
Yeah, like I was teaching a rock rope and rescue course, and I was like, oh, I haven't done this in years. Like, in theory, I still know it, but I haven't like actually brought this skill out in years. And it kind of like reaffirmed that it's like, okay, I actually need to like think about this more often and need to work on it more often, not just the once a year or once when something bad happens. Because that's the worst thing, to be like, oh, I think I know how to do this, but not really. You kind of want to be like, oh, I practiced this 2 weeks ago. I can pull this out.
Yeah. What do you teach? What kind of like clinics or groups?
I don't really teach anything like permanent. I just teach whatever comes up, like any jobs that come up. But in the past, I've taught aid climbing, rock rope and rescue classes, or just normal guiding opportunities that come my way.
Are you a guide?
Right now, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you mean by right now?
Just whenever jobs come my way.
No, but are you certified?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Now, how does that work? Like, you don't have to be an AMGA accredited guide, right?
No, if you're doing it for like local companies and local businesses, they don't really.
Okay. They have this cert, and then they say they train you.
Yep, exactly. Well, if you say like I'm an accredited guide, I'm actually kind of an accredited guide for like 4 different guiding companies for their own unique, different certification that I had to get. And all of them aren't good certifications at all. They're all just like, do you know how to belay? Do you know how to tie a knot? Yeah. Okay, you can guide for us.
That's kind of like I was talking. Do you know Kevin Heinrich?
I've heard of him, but not.
Okay, yeah. His most recent episode, he was talking about the difference between like an AMJ accredited guide versus that kind of guide.
Yep, exactly.
And there's like definitely a difference.
100%.
But then you could have sleepers like you, who are like crushers and have tons of knowledge. That it's just like maybe like there's some huge knowledge there to learn. Yeah,
I've seen some scary things though with guides that think they're doing the thing. I was guiding in Moab, and on the first day, I had my fellow guide just like walked off a cliff.
What?
Yeah.
And died?
No, he got caught from a carabiner that was clipped onto a rope.
What?
Yeah.
Talk about luck.
Yeah. Talk about luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super, super just.
And he was a guide for the day.
Yeah, he was going to be a guide for the entire summer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's kind of,
it's scary.
One. Yeah,
that's like that's a guy, that's someone that you rely on, but they just walked right off a cliff.
Yeah, that's scary. What do you think about like, you know how like knowledge passes down generations, right? I feel like back in the day it was very much like mentor to peer. That was like knowledge transfer.
Yeah,
and now it's been fragmented in so many different ways with like YouTube and Instagram and all these different kind of books. And it's like this overwhelming overload of information. In terms of like absorbing information, I guess outside of like a direct mentor or a guide that you hire, where would you steer people to kind of get the best information to learn?
I mean, YouTube is awesome. And that's how, I mean, I did learn a lot from YouTube at the beginning years, but it's not just watching one video on how to do it and be like, okay, I can lead climb because I watched a 10-minute video. It's like you actually have to consume a lot of it. You have to watch a ton of YouTube and actually go to where it counts. Go to people who actually know how to do it. The problem is on YouTube, anyone can put it out and be like, oh, I'm an expert in this. I learned in Red Rocks and did a 5.5 there. Now I can post this on YouTube. But it's like actually being able to digest a ton of it and learn from that way. That's probably the best
you're like, okay,
way.
I heard this guy say this. I heard this guy say this.
Exactly.
Like, this one, like, let me do some critical thinking here.
Yeah. And then it's also starting slow, being like, okay, I learned all this. Now I'm going to bring this to the 5.3. And I'm going to go and learn it and then watch some more. And then, okay, now I feel comfortable with that 5.4 and just going at it slowly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing, Silas Rossi, I talked to him, and one thing I really loved was the difference between memorization and conceptualization. Yeah. And I think that's what you're kind of alluding to here is like, don't just watch one YouTube video and memorize what they told you to do and then go do it. Yeah. Watch 50 or 10. Yeah. Conceptualize what you're trying to do, and then you can apply the skill set to the problem you're trying to solve.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the big key there. It's very easy to just be like, well, he told me to do this.
Yeah. And it works. No, you got to actually like.
How not to, said my rope's fine.
And then I'm sitting over here with like 4 core strands. How not to did not tell me this. Like,
do you free solo?
Not a single bit.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Have you ever been tempted to?
No, not once.
Yeah.
Like I have a really good rule for myself about free soloing. If I can convince myself I'm scrambling, I can do it. If I have free soloed technically up to 5.10, but I could convince myself that I was scrambling. But I definitely have been freaked out on some 5.5s because I'm like, I'm not scrambling. I am definitely soloing. But it's just like, if I'm scrambling, I'm good. I don't need a rope, but I can't solo.
I guess there's a huge difference between like choosing to go on a huge run out versus actually being free solo, because choosing to be on a big run out, you could always stop and then place.
Exactly. Yes.
But you don't have that choice when you're free soloing.
Also, even if it's not by choice, I am so comfortable with 20 meters of rope out and I'm just sitting there just climbing around like, okay, yep, I understand. But if you were to take that rope away, it doesn't really matter, but I would be in shambles. I would be so scared. But I would rather free solo with a rope attached. That's always, and with a ton of rope drag, that always makes it better too. A ton of rope drag and free soloing.
I think the big thing there is that you have the option to protect yourself if you get to a place where you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, I'm fine with 60 meters of rope down there and just chilling like a cucumber.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I also know that if I get scared, I just put a piece in, and then I'm like, okay, we're good now. Yeah. Maybe 3 pieces because it's been 60 meters.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely that person. I'll like be really bold and run it out extremely far, and then it's just 10 in a row, and you're like, all right, I'm safe now.
Yeah, exactly. So back to these pillars. So we talked about, I guess, rate these pillars in order of importance. So just a reminder, there's performance, adventure, spirituality, and relationships. Like if you were to rate them in performance as the climber you are today.
Ooh. I feel like relationships, we talked about that with me and James and I think that's like has to be the top, even though I do probably 60% of my adventures solo.
Yeah. So how do you like break that down for me? Because you're saying relationships is number 1, but you find yourself like solo climbing a lot. Yeah. Do you feel like there's a part of the climbing experience that you're missing when you're solo?
100%. But also there's a part that I'm gaining by being by being alone and by being able to like work through the problems alone. But then when you get a partner and just the flow state of it, and not just a partner, someone like an actual relationship, just like what you were saying, how you have these 2 people that you just are like super confident with. And I love that. And then for me also adventure is definitely top notch for me. And that's the whole reason why I climb. Like if I just had to climb in the gym or like wait in lines to get onto pitches, I probably wouldn't be a climber. Spiritually, I don't really click with as much. That just never has been me.
For me, I think like so I've gotten some pushback on this one. And to me, it's not like in a religious sense. It's like a connection to nature, a connection to yourself. And for me, that's like a connection to something bigger, right? I'm able to like, it's part of that whole, like we were talking about, that process of like learning who you are, self-processing. Like to me, that is like kind of like that spiritual realm, at least for me.
Yeah. But do
so
you think when you're like just out in the big days out there, you're able to like connect it to that spiritually?
For sure. I also too, it's weird. Like, my grandfather died from colon cancer. And when I was super young, and I'm like one of 17 grandchildren, and he was the only one I met. And so he also loved hummingbirds. And so I'm like fully in the belief that he can like show up in the form of a hummingbird. And I shit you not, dude. Like, I don't know what it is, but in the mountains, I'll be like 800 feet up, and there's a hummingbird just like right next to my head. I'm like, "What's up, Pops?" Like, I'm good, man. Like, I guess I'll put a piece in here. You know?
Yeah. Did you see a hummingbird when you broke your ankles?
No.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think he was out for that one. He must have been taking a break. But yeah, so just like weird stuff like that. Like it connects me to something bigger.
Yeah.
And so that's why I include that one.
I feel like I'm just having fun in the mountains. Yeah.
And that's cool. Yeah.
Like I might spiritually learn something about myself, but I feel like everything I'm just having fun in the mountains.
Yeah. That's cool, man. For the relationship one specifically, describe your ideal climbing partner.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like my ideal climbing partner is anyone who I've just climbed so many days with that we just click.
You would not climb with someone over and over again unless they met some sort of criteria.
True. I would say it has nothing to do with strength. Nothing to do with strength. Maybe a little bit to do with speed, but nothing to do with strength. But just like fluidity and confidence in their systems and the safety aspect of it, and how nothing that happens gets them riled up. Like anything can happen. You're like, oh, yep, that's normal. I understand what just happened, and I can proceed with whatever we're doing now. Like anything that happens, it's like, yep, we're good. We got that. And I would definitely choose that as a climbing partner that I would just keep going back and back to.
What are some hard line, like never climbing with you again things?
Ooh, I've seen a few of them, or I've heard of a few of them. I've not personally seen any, but like someone who just is like I heard someone recently just took someone off belay as the person was climbing because it was twisted. Like not anything wrong, just like their belay loop was twisted in a circle, which I mean, we've all done it. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. You just have to belay like that. It's kind of annoying. You just have to belay. They just took it off belay, flipped it back on. And I was like,
without saying anything to the person?
No.
Yeah, that's fucked. I've done that, but I like, hey, Bryce, are you good? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, are you fucking good? You know, like maybe like go indirect, like, cause I need to switch this real quick.
Yeah. Or just
communication.
Like, communication. Yeah, that's definitely a huge aspect of it. Just like communicating, like, oh, hey, I did this. Like, let's communicate it. I'm also super hard on myself about like making mistakes, and I feel like I am also on my partners. And it's like, oh, you're totally allowed to fall. You're totally allowed to do some stuff, but then there's other stuff. It's like you're not allowed to drop the rope. You're not allowed to do stuff like that.
Yeah, like cardinal sins.
Yeah, you're not allowed to commit some of that. You can't just be like, oopsies.
Yeah,
that
sorry,
happened.
I dropped my gree.
Yeah.
Or like I dropped the end of the rope, or
bail.
Some other ones. You just want to bail really bad.
Yeah, I have some people who like you get out there and they're like, we got to bail. And you're like, why?
Oh, with no reason, no justification.
Like, we got to bail. You're like, why? Yeah. Or people who bail on me before we even get out there.
That's fucked.
I have a rule where if a climbing partner bails on me 2 times in a row without actually going out and climbing, I delete their contact name. And so then it just is a random person texting me. And if I like want to climb with a rando that day, then I'd be like, okay, I'll climb with you. But if you bail twice in a row, start deleting letters off your name. Like, you're losing a letter.
Yeah, instead of Andrew, it's just
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to climb with again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, tardiness is a pretty big sin.
Yeah.
Like if you say you're going to be at the cry or be at the parking lot at 7, and it's like 7:15 or whatever, like
especially for big days out,
just fucking disrespectful.
Yeah, big days out when you're like there at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I overslept." You're like, "Okay, so are we gonna be like climbing in the dark tonight, or am I just like I just woke up at the butt crack of dawn for no reason and just to sit in a parking lot?" Like that's not that fun.
No, and I think that really boils down to like just I don't know how in it you are, how dedicated you are. It's like we got to be on the same page there.
100%.
I can't be, because then it just that kind of mentality like carries through the entire day. It's like then you're the one that's flaking the rope while they're smoking a vape.
100%. Yeah,
you're the one that's like doing all the communicating, you know, it's like, it's gotta be this like back and forth.
Yeah, working
I
together.
guess I'm answering my own question here. Like for me, it's communication. And like, I love like Bryce and I, he's like my main climbing partner now. It's like, we're always communicating with each other.
Yes.
It's like for example, I don't even know, like if he's leading, I'm like, hey, watch the rope here, or oh, you back clipped here, or like he's able to be receptive to like feedback from me, and it also shows that I'm watching him. It's like we're together, and the same thing for him. He's like, hey, whatever, like just that constant feedback back and forth. It's a team effort. It's not just like you're leading and I'm fucking just like, like spacing out, lollygagging or whatever. Like we're both connected. We're both like tackling this objective together, regardless of the job that we have.
Do you feel like when you're like that far along with a climbing partner that almost you guys can stop talking? At least with me and James, like we don't have to say a word, and we have the best communication without ever saying a word. Like whistling, like I got everything off of a single whistle,
cool.
or like a single look of the eyes, and you're like, yep, got it all. Like you don't even need to speak. Like just a single how you look at me, like whistling, like anything, a point, like we're good.
The whistle's cool. Yeah. I don't think we've gotten that far, but I'd say we're definitely not over communicating. I think we do like it a little bit, especially I think probably the best examples for this is like simul gree wrapping. I love the collaboration that simul wrapping requires.
Yes, that's one thing that you're just always on.
Oh
talking.
man, dude, it's just like knots in, knots out, pulling left, we're pulling right. Oh, we're threaded, boom. 1, 2, 3, pull up. Okay, unclip. Like this like flow that you get of like, oh man, you can zip down.
Yes, and so safe too. That's the thing of how safe you are, because knots are tied on both ends of the rope all the time. Everything is getting pulled. Each person is clipped in because they just said clipped in. Like everything is so perfect.
Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3 on weight.
Yep.
I sit down.
Every movement is so planned out.
Yeah. And it's synchronized.
Yeah.
Like there was this one time we were just wrapping off of drifting, and like we got to the belay, and this is actually funny, like no communication. We both like simultaneously like loaded our grease and locked and clipped and pulled, like I think at the same time, and like this gree was making the same sound at the same time, and then we just like finished and like looked at each other and started laughing. It was just like so dialed and so synchronous. Oh my gosh, it feels so good.
Yeah, that's like the perfect cap, because you just like finished this like amazing flow of a climb, simul climbing, and then you're like, all right, now you can just like flow down the wall and feel super safe about it. If that's what you love, go to Potrero. Like that is Potrero right there. Yeah.
Well, I think we wrapped rainbow in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so rad.
And I think we wrapped drifting in 15, like 12.
That's so crazy.
Oh man, it's
wrapping
so sick.
rainbow in 30, you're just like, and the thing is, it's not like you're going fast. You're not going fast at all.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just so
smooth.
flowy.
Yeah. And I feel like all the guides are always like, it's not faster. It's not faster. It's like, I think I would beat you.
Yeah.
I think me and my partner would beat you.
I think you
even
would,
if you were pro-rig and ATC repels, I think I'd beat you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be racing.
No, and you'd be safe, and you're with each other. You're not like leaving each other.
Yeah, it's like goodbye.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna vibe the whole way down.
And you're watching them load their grig. You're watching yourself, and it's not like
accountability.
Yeah, it's not like you're up there like, oh, I think he's loading his grig right now. Like, I can feel the rope getting pulled up, like stuff like that.
You're like holding the rope just in case, like fireman rappel. You're like, eh.
I learned my lesson not to do that, because James bombed my arm once, because I'm just standing up there holding the rope, just like giving it like a loose fireman's. Like that never hurts, just to like hold the end of a rope just in case something happens. You're good. You just bombed my arm out. Like, I was just like, oh,
you're like, never again.
Yeah. I'm gonna start walking away from this like every time if I can.
Yeah, that's cool, man. No, just that flow, it's so good, and the partner makes everything.
100%.
Back to the partnerships. It's like you can't do that with everybody. You gotta find the right partner to do that. And it's sad how rare it is.
Yes.
And I think that's the one thing that sucks, is like most of the people I talk to struggle with climbing partners. I'd say that's one of the larger questions I get on my Instagram and from people that I don't know, is like, how do you climb with so many people? Like how do you find so many partners?
Yeah.
And I'm like, for one, I don't climb with a bunch of different people. It's pretty much one person. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a bummer that it's such a struggle for so many people.
Yeah, and once you like find one that you like, it's like a relationship. It really is a relationship. Once you find one that you guys click, you guys just like kind of flow for a year or so together in the same thing. And then maybe once you split, you got to find another one.
It's cool how like two people can come with like slightly different systems, and then like eventually your systems kind of start to merge.
Same thing.
And
Oh
then
yeah.
once you're like doing the same thing together and there's no
Yeah.
differences, you have the same gear, you have the same steps, you have the same systems. It's like that's when everything starts to get super harmonious. Winter is here, and you need to start thinking about your base layers. Choosing the right base layers is critical, and Hot Chili's has been the leader in technical base layers for over 30 years. They are made from an innovative blend of spandex and polyester, designed to feel buttery soft like cotton, yet provide all the benefits of performance material, striking the perfect balance between warmth, comfort, and flexibility. I recently climbed Rock Warrior in Black Velvet Canyon, a wall that gets next to zero sun this time of year, and my Hot Chili's Micro Elite base layer system kept me super warm at the belays and cool enough to stay focused on my lead. And believe me when I tell you, these things are soft, like crazy soft. Plus, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you can buy them, try them, and if you still don't like them, they will just give you your money back. Right now, you can get 15% off at Hot Chili's by going to the link in the description below and using code TCM15 at checkout. That's the link in the description below and using code TCM15 for 15% off at checkout. So this next kind of like chapter that I want to dive into is like kind of that whole mentality of how you're kind of like a silent crusher and how that's been by choice, right? So you're not a sponsored athlete. You work a regular job. You save for trips just to continue your adventures, whether that be climbing or whatever else you do. I feel like that level of humility is kind of rare in today's climbing scene.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've like resisted the sponsorship route, whether like, I mean, people haven't come and approached you specifically for sponsorships, have they?
If they do, it's often like chalk companies or stuff like that.
And they're like,
yeah.
hey, here's some free chalk or something?
Yeah, that's basically all it is.
No
Yeah.
like bigger brands or anything?
No.
Okay. It does feel like you could have easily gone that direction with the kind of climbs that you've done.
Probably, but it's more, I would actually have to pursue it and like be churning out social media or be giving something to the company, which I feel like I don't really provide anything to a company.
And that is very much a requirement of an athlete these days.
Definitely, yeah. You definitely have to spray what you send, for better or for worse.
And that requires somebody else taking content of you.
Yeah.
Which to me is the hardest part. Like you have to, it's like, yeah, it's, I'm like just stepping into that world with this whole podcast thing and lives in. And yeah, like I have to like have someone taking pictures. It's like, there's a whole logistical thing to that. And for me, the biggest thing has been like, I refuse to go around and just be like, hey, will you take pictures of me? Like, hey, you want to come and take pictures of me?
Climb with me?
I'm just like,
photos?
no, here's money. Like,
Yeah.
this is a business transaction. I'm going to pay you as an independent contractor. I'm going to pay you as a photographer.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use those stuff. So that's been like my big thing with stepping into this world is I like, it's a business. I'll treat it that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay people and hopefully build like this foundation around the work that I have.
Yeah. It's hard though when you're just like, for me, everything I do is like, everything really big I do is usually solo. So am I just going to be taking like selfie videos? Like, I don't think anyone really wants to see a selfie video of me just like sweat stained, like mile 50. Like, no one really cares. Like, no one wants to see me in the pain cave.
You're like sponsored by Gnarly Nutrition.
Yeah. I just threw it up. Like, no one really cares.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Remember, I worked like a little bit with our local climbing shop, the Desert Rat. And I remember I like sent a video to the manager and I was like showing off like, I love these trekking poles even though I broke them. I love this even though like I snapped it in like mile 200. Like he was like, we can't use this. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. He's like, you better stop making our ropes look cheap and like you can break them so easily.
Yeah, you're like core shotting our ropes all the time.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
He's like, that doesn't really look good.
It's not commercial.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No, it is interesting. I guess maybe it's always been that way. Like you have to, there's like there's boxes you have to check. Yeah. And it's not just climbing hard. It's not just going on adventures.
Maybe I think it might used to like when Sharma and all that, where it's just like, yeah, if you just send 14, you get a sponsorship or you get money.
But
like,
then
we'll definitely send you this.
You're that good to the point where the company is sending their photographers out to you
to get photos.
And all you're doing is climbing, and there's someone up there taking pictures. Like now it's like you have to do all of it.
Mhm.
And then the sponsor's like, well, where's my stuff? It's like, well,
Yep.
where's your photographer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, back to your like specific situation. I guess like a lot of people glorify this whole like path to sponsorship. It's like that's what you see the pictures of. It's like, well, that's what I've got to do to make it. Have you ever been like tantalized by that kind of allure, or has it always been just not in your wheelhouse?
I feel like I just never thought I was good enough for it. And I know that that's super not true because there's a lot of sponsor climbers who are 510 climbers and who are making a living from climbing via 510s. But I just feel like I was just never good enough or could never like showcase it enough to get sponsors to be interested in what I do.
So you knew what was required, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm not willing to
Yeah.
do what it takes.
I'll do the climbing side, but I won't do the
Uh-huh.
other aspect of it.
Talk to me more about that imposter syndrome that you just kind of spoke about.
Yeah, I just cannot fathom being able to like reach out to a company or being able to be like, oh, I just did this rad thing. Like everyone should celebrate this. Like I feel like that's so hard for me. And it's like I love when I see other people do it, but I can't do it myself. Like I scroll through Instagram and I'm like, oh, this person did this. That's so rad. But I cannot post on Instagram at all. I just cannot do it. My Instagram is totally run by friends. 100% friends run, and they'll look through my photos, be like, oh, that was a cool trip. You should post these photos. And I was like, dope, I'll post those photos. Like, that's it. I cannot do it by myself.
The best way I've been able to like process it is like, I think Tanner Wanish is a really good example of this. He like uses it as like a journal.
Yeah.
I really like that aspect to it. It's like a log, not just for his audience, but for him.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. That would be awesome, just to be like, yep, this is just what I'm up to. Like, not trying to dramatize
spraying,
it.
yeah.
Yep, this is just what I was up to today. And I would love to be able to do that, but I feel like I would need to start to do that before I could actually I would just need to jump in. Like, okay, here's what I did. And just like start from now, and then I'll just start it now, but I could never really do that.
Yeah. You just haven't gotten to the point of taking that step.
Yeah.
You're just like, next objective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nothing, like I said, nothing I do is that big. It's like I'm already, second I finish, and it's like, okay, what about in 2 days from now? I think I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
like,
a logbook of everything that you've done?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What color is the book?
It's in my notes app.
It's digital. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
My
Password
notes app.
protected.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, totally. I take photos of it whenever I think I have every 200, I take a photo just in case, if I had it deleted or something like that. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I'm nervous that one day I'm going to open my phone. It's going to be gone.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I think the quintessential version of that is like the handwritten one where the old school person writing everything down.
And the stacks of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to someone's house before and he has a stack,
wow.
hip high of all of his routes.
Wow.
That'd be cool. But then you wouldn't be able to look through it.
Yeah.
You'd never be able to be like, oh, I need beta for this exact route that I did 2 years ago. You're never going to be able to find that.
Keyword search.
Yeah, no.
How much information are you putting in the journal?
As much or as little. I will write full pages.
And that won't go on Instagram?
No, definitely not. God, no.
What kind of stuff are you writing?
Just my experience there, something unique that happened to me for the day. If I'm really feeling artsy, I might write a little poem.
Cool.
A little crappy poem here and there.
That's
dope. Just whatever that struck me for that climb, or legitimately just the name of the climb, flash. What, that.
You should just start a Twitter account.
Yeah, exactly.
Just little tweets.
Yeah.
Flash. Little poem. People would love that stuff, man.
I think if someone had to listen to my poems, it might die. I would lose instant followers if I post any poems.
That's funny, man. Well, that's cool. I love that. Yeah, I think creative expression is really important in whatever kind of avenue you go. Yeah. Okay, so you're not chasing sponsorships. You're doing everything for yourself. You're super self-sustained. You don't rely on outside money. You do odd jobs to support your ambitions. Do you ever struggle with the lack of notoriety? Do you think that meaning requires witness sometimes?
Not really. No, I feel like more than enough people know my name and know what I do, like especially in our tight community in like St. George and Zion, where yes, the hard things I have done, the community knows it, and I don't need to just go and spray about it. They just like figure it out that I've done something, and that's all that really matters to me. Yeah. I feel like the only thing that I'm missing in that is like I wish I could help other people. That's like the reason why I'm on the podcast is like, okay, like I would love to help other people. I honestly wish people were like reaching out to me like, hey, can you help me with this? Or can you help me with that? That's like the only thing I wish I could have, but I'm not about to go through the work of posting and spraying and building a platform or anything like that to get that.
Well, if anybody's listening, you just had an invitation.
Yeah.
hit up Connor. He's chomping at the bit to help you out.
Definitely.
What about balancing like ambition with sustainability?
I feel like my climbing has always been sustainable, and my like adventures like broadly have been sustainable for me. Just because I can switch between so much different stuff where it's like I can go on these long 24-hour runs or long days out in the mountains and then instantly switch to the next day I can just go chill climbing. Or then maybe on my rest day I might pick up an odd job, make some money, and be able to fund my next few weeks of climbing and then go climbing again. And so it's just like always switching, and I've never found a dull moment in that.
Cool. What about sustainability in the sense like long-term plans of like building a career or building money flow? Like, do you ever feel the pressure of like, oh, I need to like settle down and like build a career, and like maybe all this stuff I'm doing is fun for now, but I'm going to regret it in the future? Like, do you ever have those thoughts? I know you're still super young.
Yeah. I think my parents have like instilled like, it's awesome to live this dream, like this dirtbag dream. That's awesome. But like eventually your time will come and you got to put that aside. And I totally understand that since I'm not pursuing money in climbing, that the time will come that I cannot dedicate this much time to climbing. I'm not about to be a Fred Becky that's going to live off of like free coffee and a McDonald's mayonnaise bun or whatever his story is. So eventually that time will come, and this like fairyland dream that I'm having of just like climbing every day is going to end, but I'm going to chase it as long as it's feasible. And I don't really feel any pressure to settle down right now. No, I'm not close at all.
It's one of those things you'll know when the time comes.
Yeah. I pressured myself into getting a degree, and I was like, I will get a degree and that'll be enough, because if push comes to shove, I can just like fall back on that degree I have, and that can carry me into a better paying job that can get me into it. But other than that, I'm good.
Let's see. This is like, we're getting a little philosophical here.
Okay, hit me.
What does a life well lived mean to you?
Wow, that is so hard. So I know like the broad answer that I could answer, but for me personally, it's just the memories I have by myself in the mountains or with that best partner in the mountains.
A life filled with experience.
Yeah, a life filled. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be written down anywhere. I could die and no one could say my name again and I would be perfectly happy. But it's just having those experiences that I can look back on or I can fall asleep to. I'm just like, oh yeah, that was the flow state. That was just like the perfect day out. Because I've had so many of those perfect days out, and just like being able to like, all right, yeah, that was good time spent.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a big thing that I think the elderly struggle with. At least, I mean, I'm projecting here, but I can imagine regret is a huge thing that I think elder people deal with. It's like you can't really do as much as you used to, and so you're left like lamenting on the past. And I would hate to look back at my past and just be like, man, I wish I did this, or I wish I had prioritized this. So yeah, I think I agree with you. I think experience is huge.
Yeah. I'm doing my best to prioritize what I love any given moment of time, and kind of not filling myself up with anything else except for exactly what I love.
Do you ever struggle with negativity?
No. And how so? I don't really understand.
I think like they're like, no, I don't even know what that means.
No. Yeah, I really don't.
I just think sometimes it can be, I guess, easy to fall like there's so many people that have negative mindsets that are kind of in negative bubbles, like they see the world in a negative light. and sometimes it's like something we have to pull ourselves out from.
Yeah. Are you saying that from like more of a like social media aspect, or like when you're on the internet?
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be alcohol. It could be
Okay.
vices. It could be things that we're doing that we know aren't our true selves. Like, I guess, do you struggle? Do you have any like weaknesses? Do you have any vices? Do you have any like parts of your personality or your identity that you battle or struggle with? No,
Not really.
Just fully in climbing.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, they obviously like have their flow of personalities that they go through and they raise up in, like for as long as I can remember, climbing, running, like that's all I can remember really. And that's been everything that has made me fulfilled in my life since before elementary school. Like first memories I have, climbing, running, like that's it. And so I don't really have anything else.
For me, it's like sometimes I get negative because I'm not where I want to be.
Okay.
And so there's like that, depression is built from living in the past and anxiety is built living in the future. Sometimes though I get like, it's like not living up to your own expectations or as fast as you'd want to get to a certain place. I think that's where some of my weakness is like forgetting to enjoy the process and always chasing the carrot. Do you resonate with that at all?
No, because I'm kind of always where I want to be. I have nothing keeping me from being there. Like, okay, like maybe like a perfect example is the desert heat. Because you have to stay here at your house during the dead heat of Vegas. I just leave. Like when St. George and everything I love about St. George gets too hot, I'm gone in a second and I'm just out of there. I have nothing holding me back in there. Gone, and I can travel and I can stay away from that until St. George opens back up and I can just like run back into the desert.
You have the freedom to escape anything that would potentially cause a negative mindset. You're just like,
yeah. I can, like, I live in my van in the desert by myself. Like, I can escape from everything I want to escape from. And it's a pretty blissful life to be able to do that. And I know it will not always be that way. But for right now, it's like, I can just kind of flow and go where I want.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think that's the epitome of like why people want that kind of lifestyle. I think.
Yeah.
I lived it for a little bit too in my early 20s. It's fantastic.
It is, yeah. But if it comes crashing down, it will come crashing down hard, because everything that makes me is like climbing, adventure, the usage of my body. And I do often think about your ankles and breaking your crash. Like I don't know how I'd handle it. Like I would be awful, because I cannot think of a single thing that really brings me joy that doesn't involve like being outside and using my body.
I mean, it just gets to the point of like, I'm going to get back there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Every day is spent like, I'm going to get back there.
Yeah. And that's like, so I think I would have to focus on that or something like that. But that's like my greatest concern. And my biggest thing is like, I cannot get hurt, because if I get hurt, then I won't be able to climb or I won't be able to run.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that way now. I've lived through it. It's really nice that you have been able to like absorb that mentality without having to learn it the hard way. I had to learn it the hard way. But now, I'm safe. I'm way harder of a climber, way safer of a climber. Like, again, with that falsity of them being juxtaposed, like you can do both.
You can.
Yeah.
100% do both. Yeah.
What do you feel like the climbing community as a whole is getting wrong these days?
Ooh. I think the climbing community has so many things they're doing right. They really are doing a lot of things right. And I just feel like there's not many other communities in sports or in anything that comes together so tight as climbing community.
Do you feel like that's broad or secular? I feel like I agree with you, but in small groups.
Yeah.
I don't think like as a broad community, it feels that way.
But like, how do you interact with that broad community?
I guess it's on the internet.
It is on the internet. Yeah. That's kind of hard just because there's just so many factors at play on the internet and all that.
I guess we're talking about the internet now. I do feel like I've been exposed to different kinds of like groups of people on the internet. Climbers in particular on the internet are nasty.
Really?
Yeah.
How so? Like, are we saying like Reddit posts, Mountain
Project forums,
Really? Okay.
Instagram?
I might be the one reading, but I'm never interacting. And so it's like I never have a nasty experience because I'm always just reading. Like I'm not the one actually putting myself out, putting messages onto those boards or something like that. The only interaction I will ever have really with climbers is a face-to-face. And it's always really good. And
I would second that for sure. I've never had like, unless the only time I've ever had bad experiences is like a sport crag.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but that's egos. That's human
egos,
nature.
and there's like crowds. Everyone's getting competitive, and like,
and the dog's eating your lunch, and like you're just like,
you're like, get your dog out of my bag.
yeah. Or God, I recently had one where the dog was on top of the cliff running laps,
kicking
on top
rocks
of the
down.
cliff. Yeah,
Jeez.
he was legit running laps, like chasing all the squirrels, digging holes at the top of the cliff, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, the people are not anywhere to sight, and yeah. Or 3 days ago, I was in the Fishers, and there's these people going in to climb ancient art, and they brought their dog in, and then the dog ran through all of the crypto for hours as these people were up there, just in and out of the trail, like running next to people, walking. The dog was nice, but like walking with all the people on the trail and then running around and then like howling at the wall because it could see it. And then like they were like on the top of pitch, like 2, 3 or something like that, like yelling down to the dog, like, be quiet. Yeah. I was just like, what in the world is going on? Yeah.
That's a weird thing too. Like, it's like, obviously they didn't choose that, but they're like, we have to climb. So
yeah,
sorry.
I guarantee they like live in their van with the dog, and they're just like, no, we're going climbing, and this dog's gonna sit here and play around in the desert by itself.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like just,
but in general, your experience with the climbing community has been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I do think one of the cool things about climbing is that it requires so much of us. Yeah, like you have to be willing to take risk. You have to be willing to push yourself. You have to be willing to train. You have to have mental fortitude. You have to be interested in the outdoors. Like so many different things that are required of you that when you meet someone, it's just like you have so much in common right away.
Yeah. Do you think you have had bad experiences with like climbers in general?
No. In public, face to face, super cool. Everybody's been really good. It's just online. I just like the internet trolls for climbers are really nasty.
Yeah, I don't really indulge in it.
Yeah, I think that's a lesson there. Just stay away.
Yeah.
I'm in I can't though. I run a business, so
true. Yeah.
I'm forced to deal with it.
Especially like putting yourself out, you're inviting so much more back in.
Yeah. I've gotten to a place where it doesn't bother me anymore. I'm honestly just surprised by it. But I also like I've kind of like it's been such an evolution, this the channel that I run over the last like decade or so. And I think what I found is that I'm proud and happy to be real. And I think that that is something that is lacking in the digital space of climbing. Like it's always a skit or like some sort of personality or which are cool, but like it's very rare that you see someone just like raw as fuck. You know? And so
just like, this is me. I don't really care what you think.
Let's chat about it. You know, everyone gets to have their opinions. So it's been a journey, but I've learned a lot from it, and I hope a lot of people have too.
Yeah, I think the only time I've ever had a troll like show up on one of my pages is when I posted that core shot of just like the 4 strands. I was like holding my rope at the base of El Cap, like dramatic photo, and like in the comments, a dude's like, "Well, if you used 21st century ropes, that wouldn't have happened." And I was like, "This rope's brand new. It's a Sterling." Like. What do you mean?
I think that's a big thing when it comes to like safety and risk. Everybody thinks they know better than you.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's
you're putting yourself out there.
Everyone's
they're going to judge you. Yeah. Like you put yourself out there, it's all going to get judged because they're experts and you're the one who made the mistake. So they're right. You're wrong. Yeah.
So back to this like topic of like, there's going to be a day where I have to like settle down. What have you visualized what that looks like on the other side?
No. Not really. I try not to, just because like, let me say I try to visualize, but I can't really see it. I can't see what happens. The one thing that I'm seeing is like, I've been in love with Zion for 4 years, and I cannot name a time other than the summers that I've spent more than 3 days away from Zion. Like I have been so indulging in Zion that I'm like, do I ever need to leave? Like, I've already done all the classics. I've already done like all the non-classics. Like at what time do I need to leave? But where do I go? Like, it's not like I can just like move on to the next big walling Mecca place that I love. Like there's only one Zion for me. And so it's kind of just like trying to figure out what's next, but not really trying to focus on that. Just more trying to be like, all right, what brings me joy right now? And it's not really harming me. I'll just keep doing it.
Maybe that's just that Zion is home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zion's home base. At least it's home for now.
Home for now.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, home for now. Home for now.
Home for now. Yeah. But when the heat comes, I run. Like I cannot climb in Zion when it's 115 degrees.
No.
No.
Miserable.
Yeah.
And it's just like Vegas. You're close enough to all the other stuff. Just hop in the van for a couple hours. You're good to go.
Yeah. Or every summer I just go up to Canada or just,
okay, cool.
Just disappear. Yeah.
Nice. Do you ice climb?
I'm a solid like 5'7" ice climber.
5'7". WI3?
Yeah. 2, 3.
Alpine ice 2. Yeah.
Just super, super low level. Like I love it, but like not good at it. And I'm okay with that. Like I just love not being good at it.
That's fair. So shifting this kind of conversation, I guess, away from climbing, adventure is like a huge pillar for you, and it has bled into a bunch of other areas and other pursuits. Yeah. You have a quote. It said, "The best thing I do for my climbing is not climbing." Like, what does that mean to you?
I just feel like sometimes I do like take breaks and I go and some other form of adventure calls for me, and then it just makes me like die to come back to climbing. Because I feel like I had some friends who like live the dirtbag dream, but they don't actually end up climbing that much just because they can't always climb. Like you don't really need to climb today because you can climb tomorrow and you can climb the next day. But for me, I have to climb today because tomorrow I'm going on this other thing and I'm doing this other thing. And it's just like, I do so much different adventuring that just climbing is just like an aspect of it.
Yeah. What else has captured your attention in the adventure world these days?
So right now I've been really enjoying like gravel biking and long biking. And then I've also been pack rafting down the Colorado River. My goal is to do a source to sea of the entire Colorado River from the headwaters in Rocky Mountain National Park all the way down to as close to the ocean or the ocean as I can get. And I'm trying to do that in 2 different sections. It would be impossible to do it in one section just with like the freeze thaw cycle. And like if I were to try to do it, I'd like be in the mountains during the middle of like January and like being on 14ers in January and then going through the Iced Up River, stuff like that. But it wouldn't work. But right now I've pushed it all the way down to like close to Moab and then waiting for like a Grand Canyon permit, which I have starting in a month. And then I'll be able to push that all the way down to close or to the ocean. I don't really know what that means yet, just with all that, because I would love to make it to the ocean. That would be an awesome finish to the event. But the Colorado River doesn't really run to the ocean in an amount of pack rafting abilities. And so I would be able to walk or do something to finally get to the
Boogie
ocean.
board.
Yeah. just follow the drops of like this massive mud hole. That's really what it is.
Doesn't it turn out like this huge fanned like delta?
Yeah.
Or something?
But the thing is, it used to run. So the Colorado River runs into the delta. And there's this like whole law of the river that they have to be sending a certain amount of water to the delta at all times. But that's legitimately a trickle. And it's no longer in the original Colorado River bed. And so it's like, you can't really make it through. But my hope is that I'm going to be going at the exact time where the Colorado mountains are starting to like thaw out. And so I'm thinking that might mean more water's getting through. But I might be able to like barely pack raft through or walk through or some way get to the ocean. But I'm really worried about like crossing the border.
Yeah, the Mexican border.
Yeah, just the American side. I don't really care about the Mexican side. I'm so
I just mean
worried
that
about
border.
Yeah. I'm so worried about the American side. And the Colorado River actually sits on the border for a while. Like it is the border for a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. And I'm super worried about being on the American side of it.
Like what? What are you afraid of?
Just border patrol
and like,
all that.
What the fuck you doing over here?
Yeah.
Got drugs on your raft?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting picked up by the U.S. Border Patrol. I'd rather get picked up by the Mexican Border Patrol.
You're like, cartel, you want to save me?
Yeah, like, which way should I paddle between the two?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How are you getting past the huge dams?
All self-supported, so I'm walking around all of them. Yep, walking around all of them, putting it on my back. 1 load, 2 loads through all of them. The big dams, they're an issue, but usually there's a way around it. But the thing is, it's usually the smaller dams, because the smaller dams, you always enter into federal property, and then you have to deal with like the trespassing and all of that.
Yeah, like I would imagine Hoover is kind of a... Have you been there?
Not that bad.
It's not that bad? It's like so rugged back there?
Yes, but there's a road that leads you in and out. Like, or a trail or dirt road thing that leads you in and out below the Hoover.
Now, do you have to like touch one side of the dam and then touch the other?
I think you'd get arrested if you go to the dam. You would definitely get arrested if you go all the way to the dam.
Yeah.
But it's the small ones. I've had like dam owners pull guns on me for the upper sections, or I was having some big problems on the very high section of the Colorado River before it was an actual like respected river. Because all the farmers just were pissed that I was on
Where
there.
are you starting?
So I started on Specimen Mountain in Rocky Mountain National Park. Well, my true trip started at home because I was like, I want to do my source to see. So at my house. And then I biked to Rocky and I climbed Long's Peak. And then I traversed the Continental Divide for 5 days to the Specimen Mountain, which is like the true headwaters of the Colorado River. And so I was able to like actually follow like the first drop into it.
So you're not actually rafting from the beginning.
No, like it was like legitimately like
a trickle.
Yeah, a trickle from the very
and then the second
start.
it gets big enough, then you get in the water.
Then I got on the water.
Wow.
Yep.
So it is
But
like true
for
source to see.
Yeah, for like many days, I was just walking beside a river. That was
Wow.
no bigger than your average little gully.
Yeah.
And it's legit just a gully, but it is the
Wow,
Colorado
dude.
River.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really cool to start because I've only seen the Colorado River would see the Grand Canyon. You see the Hoover Dam like this big, massive force. But it was like, no, it's just a
Starts
gully.
like this.
Yeah, it's just a gully.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take you to piece it together?
I think it's going to take me like 4 months of actually like on
Moving.
the river moving. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Has anybody done this before?
I would love to hear if anyone's done it. I would. I know people have done like ish source to sea, but I don't know how high or how low they've gone because everyone's done like the Grand Canyon section. And I know people have started in Colorado and gone through the Grand Canyon, but like, I don't know if someone's really gone from like 14,000 feet to the ocean. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. I did watch, there was one person, I'm really blanking on his name, but he biked it. And he biked like to like Fort Collins, which is pretty close. So I don't know, like that was pretty cool, but it wasn't on the river. So I feel like it's different.
Yeah. Wow. It's quite the objective.
Yeah.
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 That's crazy.
Something that just like caught my imagination recently and I've just kind of run with it.
Yeah. Other than giving you space to come back to climbing and make it more enjoyable, how has your adventure outside of climbing benefited climbing?
Well, obviously like running helps climbing for sure. Like definitely gets you stronger for climbing. But I feel like it just like opens up my mind to a ton of different things and like what climbing can become. Because climbing doesn't really have to be the sport crag that you go to every day. Climbing can be just like those big days in the mountains. Or like recently I did this thing where I like packed up all my ropes and gear into a running vest and ran into these big like remote route mountains or running into the bugaboos and then climbing and running out, like stuff like that. Which is just like
fitness.
it's cool to see like, yeah, see the evolution of it. Yeah.
Fitness and also like how you can apply the skills in other mediums, other places.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And you're about to leave for New Zealand?
Yep. I'm about to just spend hopefully around like a month and a half biking across New Zealand.
Cool. Where are you starting? Where are you going?
Starting at Christchurch, going to wherever I want to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Just point and shoot.
Point and shoot.
Okay.
Straight point and shoot.
Wow.
I leave really soon. I still haven't planned out my itinerary, and I should. And I like got on the computer today and like opened up Google Earth, and I was like, well, I want to go there, and I want to go there, and then I like looked at it, and I was like, oh, that's like thousands of miles. So I was like, I might not be able to do all that, but
are you gonna go,
I could try.
You're gonna go visit the Shire?
No, that's the wrong island.
Oh, it's the wrong island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that was one of those things that I was like, I could go here.
Yeah.
But I was
gonna
like,
bike through the Shire.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would actually be
That would be
really-
sick.
That would be
That would be
sick.
sick.
I've heard it's a tourist trap.
Oh,
though.
of course.
But you have to. I mean, it's the Shire. You got to do it. But no, I think I'm going to spend like most of my time in like maybe the Fjordlands and like maybe around Mount Cook area.
Yeah. You should hit
That'd
up
be really
Nathan
cool.
Longhurst.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
I mean, that guy knows exactly where everything is. He probably could give you good beta on kind of like, at least in the Mount Cook area, like
It would
places
be rad
to
to
go.
do Mount Cook, but I know it's like a little bit hard to be like soloing up on Cook. And so it's like, I don't know. Also, am I like going to bring an ice axe and like bike with my ice axe and my crampons on my bike all month long? Like,
Just for one objective.
yeah.
Yeah. You could
I also
always
wanna do,
rent
like-
them or something, couldn't you?
True, yeah. Or I also like want to like canyoneer down there. That'd be super fun, but it's like, how am I gonna fit all of this into such short time?
How do you like? for an objective like that, going solo, like climbing, obviously when you're like lead rope soloing, there's a way to mitigate the risk. What about like, I don't know, how do you like in canyoneering or like big hikes in the middle of nowhere? Like, how are you planning for randomness?
I think the most dangerous thing I do is road biking by far, because that's the only thing that I really feel like I don't have 100% control of. Like everything else, I can act like I have 100% control, but when you're road biking,
Cars can just hit you.
I got no control over anything. But I feel like the bad answer of how I can prepare for randomness is just my strength and my ability, knowing that like really if shit hits the fan, I can just walk out of here.
Yeah.
Which I know is not true, but I can just turn around and I can just get my butt out of this situation that I walked myself into.
I guess that's the key, is knowing. It's almost like the solo mentality, like never make a move you can't down climb.
Yep.
Don't put yourself in a situation where like either you forget which way you came, or like that you've gotten yourself into a position where you can't get out of where you've gotten into.
Yeah. I'm always just like, yep, I can just like lean back on the experience and just get out of here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so closing this up, you had said the main reason here was to like help others, inspire others. For someone who is inspired by your story, who I guess I'll just leave it at that. Someone who's inspired by your story, like, do you have advice for someone who might be like trying to live the Connor Baty dream?
Don't. No, I'm joking. I don't know. That's so hard. I would say just don't fill yourself with anything you don't want to do. Like if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. But that doesn't mean don't chase objectives. Like you definitely have to do stuff that's hard. You'd have to like, I hated studying, but I sat in that library until it closed to study to get my degree. But just like chase your big objectives and don't give in to anything that you don't really want to do.
Hell yeah. Well, sweet, dude. I usually close this out by like giving you a chance to let people know where to follow you and follow your story. Instagram, pretty much whenever you decide to post or whenever you have a friend post for you.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's about it, is Instagram.
Okay. Maybe the Twitter one day.
Maybe the Twitter. I do have a Twitter, but it's not actually my real name.
Okay. Even more sneaky.
Yeah, even more sneaky, because I just didn't want to use my real name because I was like on all the like partner finders.
Okay.
I do not know why.
Well, if you ever end up being active and you start to post your poems and stuff, let me know. And then I'll it'll be just a secret climbing majority thing. And so people can follow you on Twitter if they want.
Sounds good. I honestly don't even know my Instagram handle. Connor Baty, maybe?
Probably,
I don't know.
Probably.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'd have to look.
Yeah, I would too.
Let's give people the actual Instagram handle.
Okay. It's kind of lame, but I really have no clue what it is. I think it might be Baty Connor.
It's Connor Baty.
Oh, it is?
CONNORBATY.
Perfect.
There it is.
Yeah.
You heard it from him.
There it is.
There it is. Cool, man.
You could be one of the 100 followers.
I think you have 1,000.
I do?
Yeah, you've got 1,500.
Wow. I'm famous.
You're famous.
That's crazy.
A lot of pressure now.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I know you drove down here from St. George. I really appreciate you coming and doing this in person.
For sure. Thank you.
I appreciate you like popping your podcast, Jerry.
Yeah.
I feel honored. So thanks for coming down.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's awesome.
All right, dude.